Hello and welcome to Bounding Into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding Into Comics. I'm joined by my associate editor, Spencer Bakuli, and special guest, OC Steve.
Konnichiwa, fellas.
What's going on?
It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you, Steve. It's been a while since we've had you on, but it's always good to see you.
Putting in the work,
Always
fellas.
nice to have you.
Doing the shorts on the YouTubes.
Yeah, you're doing a little hero hay action. He's mastered those little,
seriously,
videos, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, man, when you start getting like 1,100 views for if Superman's gonna be gay and Tim Drake going through that and getting some attention, sometimes they're a little buzzworthy, but they're more about getting the message out there than anything else.
I hear that, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually appreciate what Hero Hay does because it's just like, this is what it is. And it's stupid. And then he's like, let me do another one in a couple hours.
He's like, and this one's stupid, and this is stupid.
But no, yeah, I've been watching your videos too. I like it. I like your little brief takes, and you just kind of, I guess they're kind of like TikTok style, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they're not high sophisticated. It's no Martin Scorsese true to force. It's more about getting my rant out in under a minute, and my wife calls it a little decompressing a little bit.
I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, my videos aren't. I mean, the videos I put up here aren't like high quality either. It's literally like I do a voiceover and then I just have images.
Put some images,
the camera on the images. That's what I do.
I mean, hey, I film them on my phone between a break at work. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have mentioned that. While I'm taking my lunch break.
There you go. I mean, you're allowed breaks at work, so by law.
I just don't film them on the can, so. I have a line of demarcation.
No, I don't do that.
You gotta have some proper decor at least.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have a big show tonight. A lot of fun. We're gonna talk about Aquaman. He's the thumbnail dude. I think that we're just gonna talk about the suit. I just think it's so ugly.
It's so
both suits, respectively.
No, the first suit.
The first one's awesome.
The first suit is like classic Aquaman. That's from the original.
Oh, you're talking that stealth wannabe X-Men piece of shit.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. The black suit with the silver trim.
I don't get it. Boots. Like the whole concept of like when I've read creative people talk about Aquaman, it's because he lives in the deep. Everything's dark. That's why he has vibrant colors that stand out, so they can kind of see like royalty coming at him when they're about to get their skull crushed in. I don't get this.
Now you're just gonna get muddy Zack Snyder blackness the entire time, and
because everybody.
I don't even care about the logic of like the water's dark and you need to see him with a bright suit. It's an iconic look, like the orange top and the green pants. It just looks cool. It's Aquaman. When you think Aquaman, that's what you think of Aquaman. I mean, obviously, I had my druthers with Momoa in the first place. I didn't like how he played him as like the bro Aquaman.
Yeah.
But I get that.
We're gonna go throw some tomahawks and we're gonna chase some wolves in the middle of the middle of the yeah, because you know why? I'm Aquaman. It makes no sense. None of it does.
Yeah.
Let's go, Bruce Wayne. Let's go have a beer.
Let's just get into this right now since we're kind of getting into it.
Do it live.
Let's see if I can pull it up here. I gotta figure out which one. No, that's not that one.
They even tried to base it off of a suit from the 80s, and that suit wasn't very good.
At least there's some inspiration because real talk, Spencer, I thought like they ripped it off of like some random episode of Young Justice with like Aqualad, and they're just like
the black
suit.
It reminds me of like a generic sci-fi suit from like The Expanse, with like just like
that's too much of a compliment.
I know, but like that's like it's just so boring. It's just so like he looks more.
It reminds me of Lost in Space. It reminds me of something like Matt LeBlanc would have worn in that shitty film.
Wait, the film was awesome.
The film was so bad it was great. It was totally late 90s camp.
Yes, that's true.
It looks like one of his like shittier suits that they would have had. Like
those suits are so bad. I think that's like the best approximation of what Aquaman looks like. Is just these awful black suits.
And everybody bitched when X-Men wore leather pants and jackets, ladies and gentlemen. Because apparently that was too much.
I liked the leather look.
I mean, I know people complained about it. I didn't have an issue with it. I do think with the X-Men, I do think you just copy the 90s stuff, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just copy the animated series, copy the looks from the 90s.
And that was the
those
thing.
Those are their iconic looks. They all look different, but they all like stand out too. And all those suits have personality that matches their characters.
That was the money shot at the end of X-Men Days of Futures Past when we knew we were transitioning to the next decade, which was the 90s. Mm-hmm. And everybody was like all jazzed up and shit, and we're like, all right, we're gonna get Dark Phoenix, and and Nightcrawler's gonna have like this nope. Everybody's wearing more space tack suits.
Yeah, those suits weren't cool. I like the uniforms in First Class because that made sense. Like,
yeah, I like the First Class
like
stuff.
CIA agent, operative, special team, like that made sense, and then it got weird.
Well, and then you got, I mean, dude, I'm sorry. Like that Magneto outfit at the end of First Class is just...
It's like the best one.
Oh, yes. That's the outfit you wanted? You only get to see it in that one scene.
You only get it
in the next movie. We don't get it at all.
Yeah,
that was the worst.
The post-credit scene that they stuck at they didn't put at the end of the post-credits.
Dude, all the X-Men First Class movies in that whole era of X-Men was great at like kind of giving you a tease because... Like the deleted scene from the Wolverine where you're like, oh shit, he's finally going to get the brown and tan costume.
Oh, I remember that, yeah. That was upsetting.
I mean, I know this is never going to happen. I know this is never going to happen, but they just need to like go back and like start over after First Class. Like continue after that.
You really should.
Come on, No Way Home.
Wayback
Mulligan machine.
But yeah, so this is I like this suit. I think this suit actually looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they had
That's
this.
That's different from the other one, right? Or from the first movie?
This is the same. It
looks like more molded. I mean, yeah, it's generally the same. I just think
boots are the same. The greaves are the same. Gauntlets are the same. It looks pretty much the same to me.
I just think it might be a little more molded, but I'm not positive. I'm wrong. Yeah, he's got the same one in the first movie.
I think this is like the exact same one. I think this looks great. Like that looks like Aquaman, except he doesn't have. He's not blonde.
He's not blonde. Yeah.
But the costume looks absolutely fantastic.
Don't worry, bro. If I get enough alcohol in my system, I'll have frosted tips in the morning.
Dude, I would watch Aqua Fieri.
And he looks jacked too. Like I mean, obviously Momoa is jacked. We've seen him, but like here, look, this suit the suit makes him look fat.
The other one, like he has a massive cod piece, and then like the next one, no pee-pee.
Yeah, there's like
massive cod piece, no pee-pee.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because that
might just be the black.
It just might be the angle and the suit doesn't.
I swear, like it was probably like
this one has
like a Harrison Ford moment while he was filming two movies at the same time, because that just looks like they slapped an Aquaman belt on a Dune costume.
Yeah, I saw people do. I thought like when people were saying like this is the new Aquaman suit, I thought it was a joke because I did see people like responding saying like, "Oh, that's just his Dune costume," when they photoshopped him onto it, and I was like, "Yeah, it looks. I mean, that looks like Gurney Halleck. Could be."
Hey, Paul, we're gonna go underwater now.
It's just not a good suit. It really does look like the ones from. It looks like Jean Grey from the last X-Men movie, and it looks like Lost in Space. And those are not necessarily good costumes.
Yeah, it's
just
bland. It's generic.
It's like what Steve was saying. Like Aquaman is in the water, so you want a lot of colors, especially to help see him. Like for the audience, especially because they're gonna put him in the ocean, and it's like I said, it's gonna be super Zack Snyder-y, where everything is dark. And he blends in, and there's lots of just swooshing while he like swims. I don't know. I'm not excited for this suit.
I'm getting Game of Thrones Battle of Winterfell. like you can't see anything, and then the guy's like, "Why didn't you adjust your TV screen?" I'm sitting in the theater watching it. I can't see it. I still can't see it.
At least I wasn't the only one with that last damn season.
Oh no, I think everybody with that season.
Everyone started hating on it in the second to last episode because there were still people like raving battle Battle of Winterfell is amazing. Like,
if you can see
took
it
him down. And I'm just like, what? What are you
all those people who said it were great saw it being filmed. They saw it being filmed, so they actually saw it happen. The rest of us didn't see anything.
It's kind of like another faux pas is that anime that they put out for The Witcher on Netflix. Like the audio levels in that anime movie are all kinds of off.
Are they?
Oh, really? I've heard good things about that anime, but I don't have Netflix anymore, so I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I tried to watch the first 10 minutes of it, and I'm like looking at my wife, and I'm like, are the audio levels off? Because it just seems like all the action noise is extremely loud, and they didn't really fade in like the dialogue. Like, you can barely hear the dialogue.
Oh, I've noticed that with a lot of movies now, that like the background noise is like overpowering, and then when the characters start talking, you can't hear what they're saying because the background noise or whatever they've got going on is so loud. It's like you lower the volume, and then it's like and then you're like, I can't hear anything now. So you raise it back up, and they're drowned out. No, I feel like that's like a problem in general that I
really wanted to watch it because I'm not too familiar with like Witcher lore and shit like that, but because the whole idea that it's focused around, Vesemir, and that's kind of like his, Geralt's like surrogate kind of father figure.
Mentor,
yeah, and you get to see him at his age, so it's kind of like this weird flip on it, why he becomes such a great Witcher, or what's the events that decide him to actually get like real about it. And I just couldn't get through it just because the audio was all kinds of whack. It was just like my OCD was going into overdrive.
OCD.
Yeah, one of the big things I have, it's not with like actual watching things, but like when I'm watching like My Hero Academia, or I've been watching a little bit, catching up with Tower of God, is that when it switches to the ads are like twice as loud, 3 times as loud as the actual show. And I'm just like, dude, I just mute them. I'm like it's too loud. Yeah, no, that sucks. I hate when that ruins your experience. But no, yeah, this suit looks like crap. They need to trash it. They need to do a Sonic redesign on it. Build a new suit. Get rid of it. I don't even care if it has like plot. If it has like he's actually trying to be stealthy with it.
This is DC. Care. They're not going to listen to the fans. It's FU.
Yeah, I know. They still keep Tom King around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Amber Heard's still in the movie, so.
Kelly Suda, what comic?
Yeah. We got Black Manta here. Yaya saying, I know a suit that might give you a run, player. Yeah, like, dude, Manta suit actually.
I liked the Manta suit in the last one.
The Manta suit was awesome. They nailed that, and they nailed this suit too. Like, this is great. Mm-hmm. Just leave him in the suit.
Bam, codpiece.
I understand you want to you need to make new suits to sell new toys or whatever, but
right.
At least this is in it. Like, it seems like this is in it.
You can do better costumes than just black. I'm all for new costumes, but do something good. Like, not weird Dune in space. I guess Dune's in space.
It does. I also think it does. It makes him look big too. Like, I don't know. He
gives it like they should have just gotten rid of the belt altogether. If he's supposed to be stealth mode, like somebody could recognize that belt and go, "Oh, that looks like the Aquaman egg."
Oh, dude, there's that story from Marvel, like from years ago in like 2004, like Secret War or whatever, where like Fury,
the Gabriel Del Otto one where they redid all the costumes and they look exactly the fucking same.
Where they're like, we need stealth suits to invade Latveria, and then like Spider-Man still got a giant spider, and Wolverine's got a big
Captain America's all like, riddled with Avenger logo.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just like, come on, man, we know who you are.
Why didn't he just Nick Fury go, hey guys, I'm gonna give you some really dope tracksuits?
Why didn't he just give him shield suits, man? Those are cool.
No, they're getting dope tracksuits. We never got the sponsorship from Adidas. So don't worry about it.
That's all. Get it, the Adidas for Avengers.
I think the suit is like just too big for him. Like, I think they made it too big for him. It's not like it's super tight. Weird. It's not like molded to his body.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like
especially around the midsection.
Yeah,
it looks like some black guy was putting it on. They're like, all right, get Steve in the suit. We need to get a body mold, but we don't have Jason Momoa. It's all right, you Steve. We'll figure it out.
It's like they use Steve, but then they put in one of those like costume like abs and stuff, and just like made it super molded because it looks weird.
That was the guy who was designing it, and it was like, oh shit, they're actually going to use it and give it to Jason Momoa. They're like all walking around town.
Oh gosh,
feeling buff.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't like it. He also doesn't have his trident. Where's his trident? Is he gonna lose his trident?
They already revealed
as soon as he becomes king, he's gonna lose his kingship.
We can't have nice things. This is DC.
They're literally like they built up to the part where like, oh, he's finally gonna be like the king of Atlantis and be like what Aquaman is this guy who has like the what is it? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Mm-hmm. And then they're gonna like have him go on to adventure to like some lost kingdom.
Nope, he needs to go on the quest to get more chicken McNuggets from Chick-fil-A. So he needs to wear the stealth suit.
Volume dealer's asking what I like. I literally said for the past 5 minutes however we've been going, 15 minutes here, that I really like this first suit.
Yeah, the orange
massive content.
Just looks great. And the manta suit. The manta suit was sick.
We were talking about the manta suit too. So
with its like laser eyes.
All right. I really don't have anything else to say. I just think the suit sucks.
Well, like around like below the waist, like there's no definition in his muscle on his legs, like whatsoever.
I can't tell if that's because there's a lack of definition or because the suit's just dark and it's like cutting off.
It just seems like it's not forming to his body well. Like I said,
no, it's not.
It's like somebody else was the actual body mold for this suit, and they're like, nobody's gonna notice. We noticed. Actually, suit made for him. He did the mold. Other suit.
Yeah. I like the gauntlets too. I like the flare on the gauntlets. I think it looks good. Yeah,
I like it. Kind of makes it a little more like
fishy,
monstery. Yeah,
I like it.
It reminds me of the trench.
And then they got the color of the texture of like actual stuff that's been underwater, like bronze that's aged. Like this, I'm like
seaweed.
Yeah, like this just feels like a bad version of like the '90s TV show Aquaman.
Yeah.
Like, here you go. This is what he's gonna wear in Smallville.
Yeah, actually, that's actually like super accurate. Right down to the fact that the belt buckle was there.
The Smallville outfit was pretty good, if I remember correctly.
No, I'm just saying this was all right. This was left in the costume department of Smallville. This is an idea that they didn't use.
They made it, and then like the director got back from like vacation that day and was like, "What is this? No, what is this? We need like put it away. I don't care if we have to give Aquaman like a swimsuit. Give him the orange and green," and they did.
And they just left it in the DC vault for decades.
Shinkai says, "Looks like a bad rubber suit."
Yeah, it looks like shitty cosplay at Comic-Con where like some fat guy is trying to give himself muscles.
It's not appealing.
Bunny's got a suggestion. Says if you said use his original suit, paint it black. If you're doing like a stealth suit, and then call
there
it.
There you go, Spider-Man 3, that mofo.
Yeah, seriously, just do that.
Yeah.
And just get rid of the gauntlets and the booty.
Yeah, you might have to get rid of the gauntlets.
Yeah, it's weird that he doesn't have gloves on. I feel like he should have gloves on in the stealth suit.
I feel like they shopped it out. I feel like there's stuff in his hands.
It feels like Jason Momoa got drunk one day and went into Henry Cavill's trailer and stole one of the black Superman suits. He's like, "This is mine."
And then he's like, "Oh, I got to take the logo off of it."
Oh shit!
Is that Smallville?
Yeah, there's Hawk from Titans.
Yeah, seriously, it does look like him. That's what I mean. It's like a weird suit, and then he has shoes.
There you go. Everybody was rocking Adidas in the early aughts.
Is this Aquaman or Aqualad?
Aquaman.
It's Aquaman. Okay.
It is Aquaman.
But they're all supposed to be younger, like teenage-ish, I guess, considering Clark's like 18.
And then like the Flash.
Looks like those like Australian speed suits that they were wearing in like the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Those swimsuits. No, it was
I remember.
It was pre-Phelps. It was the Australian guy. Was like the one who was like dominating. I forget what his name was. I don't know. That's just what it reminds me of. They wore these like full body suits, and they were like crushing the records.
Yeah,
and then Phelps came along and still crushed them anyways without the
while smoking weed
all the time.
And then
And then this is the costume that it's supposed to be based on. Like
did they say that?
Yeah, that's what James Wan said.
That looks terrible.
I know the suit sucks. It's like a bad suit. I don't look at this one and go, I want anything from that. Like this is just. I'm not gonna lie.
The design on the top makes Aquaman look like a woman. Looks like he has
all of the.
Looks like he has looks like he has big chest.
I can see it.
It looks like
it's because of the waves. It's the way the waves all curl up around him. It's weird.
He looks like he should be an entertainer or trainer for Shamu at SeaWorld.
Dude, or like an Olympic gymnast. It's weird. This is not Aquaman.
I'm waiting for all the fanfare music to come out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shamu Live.
And he's like writing on the nose, like, hey.
The bubbles on the hair look like he has a mullet too.
Yeah, that's what I can't get over like the mullet look.
It looks so bad.
I'll give him the Billy Ray Cyrus pass, but this Aquafina looking outfit.
This is not good. I can't stand it.
Just trash this.
And then the little Aquaman.
I mean, I don't.
In the lower part.
Oh yeah, the logo. I saw that.
Yeah, the little like ocean spray swoosh.
Yeah, the Nike check there. Yeah.
The Nike spray.
I don't even see. I'm sorry. I don't see the inspiration either. These two suits look nothing alike.
I think it's literally just they were like, oh, he has a blue costume. Let's go. Like I'm not defending it. I'm not defending any part of this. It's just that's what he said.
Yeah. Can you pull up the Aqualad from Titans? Because I actually think that, if I remember correctly, that is actually a good suit.
Yeah.
Aqualad.
Oh yeah, I like the Aqualad Titan suit.
That was also the best episode of that entire show.
He got sniped.
It was still a great. Yeah, that suit's pretty good.
I think the colors could be a little different because he reminds me a lot of like the Flash, like Jay Garrick.
Yeah, it looks like a badass Jay Garrick outfit.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But I still really like it. I like the embedded Aquaman logo, the scales.
Probably just needs a belt.
I think he could use some like blue.
We criticize the other suit for having a belt, and then this suit, it needs a belt.
It needs trade him.
Just having the like aqua, like the Atlantis symbol, just kind of, I don't know, just looks weird to me. It's like having a belt buckle without a belt. I don't know. That's just me.
I can get it. I see where you're coming from. It doesn't bug me as much, but I definitely see where you're coming from. It can't be off.
Buddy with the keyboard's asking, "What's up with the inverted V?" That's the Atlantis symbol.
Yeah, it's Aquaman's logo.
So you can see it here.
Even though with that photo, that's like Ultra Moose Knuck right there.
See, it's right there, and then it's also here too.
I don't have it.
Does anybody else laugh at the fact that he was on Stargate Atlantis?
Aqualad?
No, Momoa.
Oh, Momoa.
And now he's the king of Atlantis. And then before that, he was on Baywatch.
I just wonder who keeps giving him roles.
Same people who cast him in Baywatch.
Yeah,
he's on Stargate Atlantis.
I mean, he's on that Apple Plus show C as well, where he plays like a blind man. Season 2 just came out, I guess. So.
Everything's very descriptive. I can't see, bro.
All right, let's move on from Aquaman. Let's get to the chat here a little bit. I know we kind of just went into Aquaman there. We didn't really say hey to the chat. Dr. Alex Dean, PhD, Electrian supremacist. I believe that's Lopter. He's saying he's going to his first political rally for Glenn Youngkin. To Hillam29, he says, good to see you. Ravul Arvida, hail all. Bunny with a keyboard says, woot. What's going on?
Bunny.
DZ3 is here. He says, hello, everybody. YouTube me says, how we doing? All we're doing well.
Doing well, yeah. I would say so.
Bunny with the keyboard says, one thing I hate about live streams, you can wait for an hour, but when it starts, you get the ads. I hope you weren't waiting for an hour. I mean, it said 9. We started at like 9:20, so or 9:10.
They wanted to be at the doors when it opened.
Yeah. Luigi the Metal 64 says Netflix sucks. Netflix sucks. Saving Brands Glitter Force. It's like 4 kids. We know Pretty Cure existed since the Canadian and Italian versions. And Lucky Star Anime Kanata saying Donson. Yeah, Netflix is just. We'll get it. I guess we'll talk about that. We'll probably get into the One Piece a little bit later.
Yeah.
We got a $2 super chat from our good friend Supreme Heretic. He says, love you all. Keep the prayers for mom coming. I am. I'm still praying for your mom. I said a rosary for her yesterday, and I'll continue to pray for her. So yeah, definitely my thoughts and prayers through you and your mom. Let's see here. Father Christopher Miller is here. Says, "Hey, all chat."
Father!
Father Christopher Miller, good to see you.
I saw Father Miller was enjoying the 78 Batman series that they just started writing or putting out. So that's a good recommendation.
Do you mean the 89?
Did I say?
You said
I
78.
78, brah.
Did I say Batman 78?
Yeah.
I meant Superman 78.
That would have probably been a very awkward.
Yeah. No. Father's reading the Superman one. I just switched up the characters.
A self-loathing Batman that realized he was on a campy 60s TV show.
I'd be all okay with that.
I heard that. I know he's reading that as well. I think he's been enjoying that.
Yeah, he even corrected me there. Superman 78, not Batman.
And then we've got Roof Korean. The basis here says, "I'm late, so will Don finish the Wheel of Time book before the movie comes out?" It's a TV show. I don't think so.
Never. No.
That was a hard trailer to watch. That was a hard trailer to watch.
I didn't like the trailer either. Wheel of Time is probably one of my favorite books that I read through high school and maybe, I guess, a little bit in college probably.
I just noticed that the budget progressively is going down and down for more of Netflix's future live action things.
This is Amazon.
That was Amazon.
Amazon.
And Amazon.
Yeah, it just looks bad. Like you can just tell that they're scaling back on the quality of the production. Like this is this looks like Sci-Fi Channel Lavalantula level for Wheel of Time.
Yeah, for me the outfits looked very drab. We can pull it up here.
Pull it on up.
I did on it where we got a bunch of the images.
It just doesn't look like anything's practical. It's like we go from being the generation that was all jazzed about like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, and then we get like Wheel of Time that all looks like generic Land's End catalog.
Because there's no creativity there. They had to rely on like their own images of like what the book says, and they're just not creative.
It's the Mon Calamari and like the J. Crew.
Yeah, in the Macy sweaters.
and you're sitting there like, how, anatomically speaking, how did that Mon Calamari get that damn sweater on?
But yeah, so here's Wheel of Time. We're not going to show the trailer, obviously, for copyright reasons.
Yeah.
But these are the outfits.
Oh, sweet. When does Ren Fair start?
Yeah, honestly, that was my first thought when I saw it.
Or are they? This is going to be the dopest recorded streaming show of live action role play that I've ever seen.
Honestly, if this was a live action role playing show, that I would be okay with this because then it would look great. But unfortunately, it looks awful.
like if you did like an isekai where like the guild members actually got put into the world, this would probably be better than calling it Wheel of Time.
Right? Yeah.
They're all they're all LARPers that get sucked into a fantasy world. There you go. People will give them the benefit of a doubt in the show.
Yeah, it's hard for me to point out. I'm assuming this guy to the left. I know this is Land just because I know. I'm assuming this is Matrim. I don't know. I always assumed Matt was a little bit more colorful with his clothes. He's a little more like he peacocked a lot. And I don't know. He looks like
just all bland tones.
He looks like a homeless person. Honestly, that's
the only guy that has his shit together is like the dude that has a sword on his back. It looks like he's wearing a badass ninja outfit.
Yeah, that's Lane. He's a warder. He's like the Moraine's protector. It's also weird that they have Rand on the very far edge of the picture. And he's
talk about bad costuming yet again. It looks like the guy on the far right, like with like the cowhide jacket. Like looks like it should have been like a taller guy that they originally casted.
Well, he is supposed to be tall, so he's supposed to be tall in the books. He stands out from everyone in Eamon's Field. He doesn't look like everyone else because he's
I'm just saying in general. Like you put him next to the other guy that kind of looks like a skinny Hodor, and like, and you can tell that whoever was supposed to be cast as that guy in the cow suit was like supposed to be way taller, and he backed out of the project because he's like, oh yeah, this looks like crap.
Like I got something better to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do an audiobook.
Literally anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously they've already we've talked about this. I've talked about this before. They race changed a lot of the characters.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. But I'm just gonna pull up. Let's see if I can pull this up here.
It reminds me of like if somebody it looks like cosplay. Like I'm super there with like you and Steve, but it's like if somebody was going to like a convention and they were like, what if we did Firefly but medieval? Like let's do a medieval version of Firefly. That's what these people look like.
So there was a comic adaptation of like the first book, The Eye of the World. Chuck Dixon actually did the adaptation. He does a lot of these awesome things.
That was cool.
Yeah. Chuck does that. Chuck's done a ton of these like classic fantasy adaptations. And you can see I don't know, the character, like the costumes look better in the comics to me.
Well, they're actually stylized. It just doesn't look like they all came from the exact same costume department.
Right. So there's another one. I think that's from that's the comic. Like I think Moran they did pretty good. Like Lan I think could be a little bit better. I know you said he looks the best, but he literally wears green. They've got him in some kind of like drab blue, almost gray blue. But at least they got Moraine right. It's hard to mess her up given that she's part of the Blue Ajah, the Aes Sedai, and they all wear blue. So it's hard to mess that up. But we've talked about this before. I did a story on there's a leak of what the they're supposed to be like basically the Wheel of Time's like Knights Templar. They're called the Sons of the Child or something like that. I'm blanking on the name right now. And the costumes look absolutely atrocious for them for Wheel of Time. And if you look in like in the comics here, they look like freaking like medieval knights, which is what I always imagined them to be. I imagine them to be like they look like Knights Templar because that's how they're described in the book. And if like that's like one of the biggest criticisms I think I see that people have with Jordan is that he gives you so much detail on like what the characters look like, dude,
just draw a picture. Put
the
insert in the middle of the book, like all the this is what the knights look like.
Yeah, it's a high fantasy book where you can like smell the food when he's like describing them going into the whatever restaurant or tavern usually. Yeah.
Oh, I love those kind of books.
Yeah, Redwall was so good at that. Dude, the Redwall books, man, were so good at that. Did you read any of those?
I don't remember the Redwall ones. I don't.
By Brian Shaw.
Yes, I do. Yes, the mice. I do. Yeah, they were good at that. That's right.
Yeah, Brian Jacques was so good at like describing what they were eating at Redwall. It's like it's not making my mouth water here, man.
Right? And it's like, dude, this is mouse food, and I want it.
But yeah, so this is like, I mean, Moraine looks decent. I don't know. Like, I get that they're supposed to be from like a rural like area right now still, but I don't know.
We filmed this show entirely in Iowa.
Yeah.
Did they really?
No, they did it in Hungary. Right?
No, but I'm like, it just looks plain.
I was gonna say, I can
like
believe it because of that.
Then we got some more photos.
Oh, so we got some mountains.
Like I knew that was Rand, but I had no idea. I would not have imagined that as Egwene or however you say her name. Someone corrected me when I did a video because I called her like Egwene or something because that's always how I just read it. Mm-hmm. And apparently I never read the I didn't read the index that tells you how to pronounce it in the back.
Who does? I ain't got time for that. I just got done with like a 900-page book.
I will say this guy looks like Logain. How I would like imagine Logain to look like. So if you don't know anything about Logain, he's actually a human male that claims to be the Dragon Reborn because he can channel the one source, which for men, they're not supposed to be able to do that because it like makes them go crazy. But he actually plays an extremely pivotal role in the books. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't read it, but yeah, so it looks like we're getting that in the first season where they're definitely going to be like delving into Logain and his following because he creates a following. And it looks like he's already been captured though, so maybe I don't know if we'll get to see them defeating him and the breakout, and then just generic running a horse on a beach. Looks like. And then this is supposed to be, I don't know. I'm assuming this is the tower. I don't know. It's supposed to be white though, and that doesn't look white. So I'm not sure what this is. I have to go back and
bad color palettes yet again.
I don't know if it's because of the way the lighting is. So
isn't that like where the faceless men live?
This might be Istar. I'm not sure.
It's a little Game of Thrones joke. Just reuse sets. Amazon bought them all in bulk.
Honestly, might as well.
Is that because of the statues? Is this where you're making the faceless men joke?
Yeah. Well, and the color palette.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's faceless with that color palette.
I did see Father Christopher Miller asked, is Wheel of Time worth reading? I think so. I really enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, John loves it.
I think they're great.
Just keep in mind, you're going to need like a year and a half to read it all from like, what, 18 books?
Than that, probably.
Yeah.
It takes, I have it in this article, I think. I don't know, maybe did I include it in this one? I found something. Yeah,
15.
it takes over 19 days to listen to the entire series on an audio.
Like nonstop, no sleep, no.
Right.
Yeah. So that it takes a bit. I read them all, but I did it in high school. So
yeah, but everybody has that extra nerd energy when the hormones are flowing through you in high school and you got nothing else.
You've also got nothing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, you can get hyper transfixed on reading a fantasy series.
Oh yeah, right.
This is one of the fantasy series that I read. I couldn't put it down. That's just me, and I just really liked it. It's got a good hero's journey. I think I like the palace intrigue. There's a lot of palace intrigue involved. I like the manipulation. I like the deceit. There's a lot of deceit. They're kind of not sure what's going to happen.
Political
there's armies from across the ocean will show up that were part of this prophecy, but no one really buys into it. And I like the friendship between Matt and Rand and Perrin, and I like how they all have to go through their own personal growth, personal struggles, and have to overcome it. And it's not always just. A lot of the times, those personal struggles are mental, that they have to overcome, and I think that's something that's really interesting. And usually it's a combination. They usually combine the mental with the physical. Especially Perrin probably stands out the most to me with that. I'm not going to spoil that either, but he actually I think they does a really good job. So I do recommend it. I really like Wheel of Time. But I do see we got a couple of super chats. I think Revolt double super chatted us.
I think he took one back. I'm not sure how that works on the system. So maybe we give him one credit. We give him a credit for one super chat.
he doubled us here. He says, is anyone else excited for redo of Healer Season 2 and World's End Harem?
Redo the Healer?
I don't watch Redo, but I read it, so I'm obviously always excited for more of it.
And that was the longest running joke on the Jack Show is they were catching Season 1 of Redo the Healer.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, and they were breaking it down. Not cool.
Yeah. I don't watch either of those shows, so I can't say. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Shinkai says if Wheel of Time is supposed to be a medieval fair, then looks okay. Yeah, I think to me it's supposed to be that kind of Game of Thrones-esque style. They had probably similar styles. And obviously you'll get different countries that have different styles too, just like in Game of Thrones there's different countries that have different styles. And you get to explore all of those because Rand travels all over the place. I'll be really interested to see how they depict the Ale. I think that will be really interesting. And then the people of Carheen, which are these super snobby elites. That'll be really interesting. Drew is telling us to check the super chats. We see them. We see them. Talk about
Look at
yo. Revolt is telling us that Shadiversity did an entire video series of Wheel of Time. I'll have to check that out. I think Don talked about that a little bit. So how's it going, Drew?
Well, obviously,
Yeah,
I wish things were better. It's
we all do, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just it's just a ton to deal with. I feel like, and you get ahead like 1 second and then 15 million things happen. It's just it sucks right now, but I'm just thankful for the support from everybody in our circle, and thankful for the prayers. And it's like I said in the super chat, just keep the prayers coming.
Yeah, I will. Keep doing that. I do want to move on to a little bit some Shang-Chi here.
Shang-Chi.
So this is actually kind of surprising. It was a little bit of a surprise to me here. I'm going to pull up the numbers here. We're looking at Shang-Chi, and
It's the
it actually
Asian movie ever, don't you know?
it actually did really good yesterday.
Hashtag stop Asian hate, bro.
He's never going to be Shang-Chi to me. He's always going to be Jung on Kim's Convenience.
Or Sean.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I go back and watch classic Bruce Lee movies, and they just kill this movie. I'm sorry.
Well, he killed it in that interview, saying like he's finally the first Asian action star, and he totally negated everybody else that came before him. Yeah, he's the greatest ever.
Yeah,
we talked about that last week, and I mean that's just modern. That's modern movie marketing now. We saw that with Brie Larson. We saw that with Snake Eyes, Henry Golding. They all say this crap, and then you watch the film, and it's not as woke, but you're like turning people off. Like
it's so stupid. I hate it.
I really don't think that they're actually getting people. Like, yeah, you might be raising awareness of the movie, but I don't think that awareness is actually driving people to go see it. I think it's actually turning people away. I mean, it turns me away. I know from personal experience that it turns me away. Like, the Zack Snyder stuff totally turned me off. What Simu Liu did turn me off. I have no interest in ever seeing Shang-Chi. Yeah. I love the Marvel. I used to love the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
John,
I have no interest in seeing those movies.
I don't want to see this movie at all, man. That's like I said. I can go back. I watched Bruce Lee movies. I'd go back and watch The Crow. I watch Brandon Lee. I mean, it's just this woke marketing garbage. Just it always kills it for me. No, I was being quite sarcastic, Luigi. I know Sony does not hate Asians.
But you just look at where
they're
coming from and what they're saying.
He said they do, yeah.
They killed themselves in the Chinese market. Because when you say something like that and you don't recognize people that were developed action, homegrown talent, and you come in and say, this is martial arts movies moving forward, and you're just trying to shit on everything that came before it, it's not the smartest business model, especially when a lot of these guys are still alive. Your Jackie Chan's, your Donnie Yen's, your Chow Yun Fats. You know?
Jet Li.
And your Jet Li. All these guys are sitting here going, oh, okay, so our shit didn't matter?
I mean, Spencer pointed this out. Ming-Na Wen and Chloe Bennett literally did 7 years on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, nah, man, you didn't exist.
Yeah, I know, and I hate that. It's so goofy. It's like, come on, man, with this stupid recency bias crap. It's nobody
bias. I like that.
Nobody buys it. We all know it's like a joke in marketing. I mean, they're already talking about. I know, I know we don't cover horror on our website, but
no, we cover. What are you talking about?
We
cover horror stuff. It's not as often as
they came out with the early numbers and reviews for Halloween Kills, and supposedly there is like some wokeness in Halloween Kills, which I don't know how you get wokeness in Halloween Kills, but somehow it's in there.
Well, before Michael Myers kills him, he explains and he apologizes for being a strong white male.
He's sorry for constantly harassing women over.
He's sorry that he has the privilege of going around indiscriminately murdering people and cannot be stopped.
No, it's his privilege. He's got
he's got serial killer privilege.
Which I think is funny because these last two Halloween films have been written by Danny McBride.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing. And it seemed like the 2018 one wasn't terrible, but I guess this one you know, has possibly some concerning messaging in it. So you know, we'll see, but
I don't know where they're going to have time in it, though. Real talk, though, because that movie's like the minute after the last Halloween movie takes off. It's kind of like a Halloween 2. Like, it's literally them in the hospital finding out that they didn't kill Michael.
Yeah, I know, Steve. I have no idea, but apparently there's some in there.
What, are they going to have some protesters hanging out, and then Michael's going to take a sign and kill one of them, or kill a cop with it?
I would love that.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? I would write a whole horror movie like that if I could.
It's 2021, so of course there might be some kind of like wokeness in it.
You know, it's
how much of it are you gonna get?
Yeah,
it's supposedly it's like, I guess the message is like the town coming together to combat fear. You know, to come out and protest against fear. I mean,
that doesn't sound woke at all.
He's an unstoppable killing machine. All the Who's in Whoville can try to stop him.
Well, the entire town at one point, you know, because they show that scene in the trailer where the entire town is like, you know, like an angry mob, like they're ready to come after Michael. So I don't know. It's like,
I mean, that sounds like what's happening in America. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, technically.
I don't know. That's like anti-woke. That's like we need to like stop the serial killer because the government isn't able to do it, so we're gonna do it ourselves.
We need bigger guns to kill
a populist serial killer movie.
Actually, John, yeah, you could probably pull that messaging out of it. that could be the messaging.
I mean, if it was here in Orange County, California, it would just be every single soccer mom with a minivan running over Michael in progression. You don't need to worry about guns. You need to worry about those vans.
You really do. As somebody who used to live there, you really do.
The only thing I could see if like it was being woke is if you did something like what I kind of I'm gonna like steal Steve's idea here, but Michael Myers gets like defeated by like a soccer mom in a minivan or something like the most like, stupid, ridiculous way.
Oh my God! Karen killed him.
Well, I guess that John, that Candyman remake they did, I guess that was pretty terrible. Because that's got
anybody watched
anything about that.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it was by the person they hired to do the new Captain Marvel movies. So
I guess it was.
Yeah,
guys, it could be the greatest film ever then, because Disney doesn't have a track record of hiring mediocre directors.
Not at all. No, they actually hire really great directors. They just steamroll them.
Or then they find out they're problematic and then disavow them. Joss Whedon.
You too mean.
Well, good. Joss Whedon sucks anyway.
I mean, have you seen the reports? I guess Wall Street Journal did a big expose on the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, and like one of the paragraphs in there, like it was like a couple sentences, but I guess the Russo brothers were back in negotiations for another Marvel film, and those negotiations have stalled because of the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, and they don't know how they're going to get paid or whatever like that. But I don't know. I don't know how like true that is, because to me, everything I'm seeing from the industry is that it's all basically turning into how they pay comic book creators, which is like basically work for hire. You get paid up front, and that's all you get, and have a great life. And if you want to do another movie, we'll call you back and get you on for that next movie. or we'll do a 3-movie deal with you, and this is your lump sum that we're giving you, and that's it. So it looks very much like a work for hire contract, really just with a lot more money.
Don't worry, the Russo brothers will return in Secret Wars.
Oh, so I was telling Spencer earlier, I put it in the chat, but yeah, just in case, if you guys haven't seen like anything on Twitter from me today, I'm in Twitter jail for like another, I think 5 or 6 hours. So
what'd you say? What'd you tweet?
there was some. All right, get this, John. So there was some jerk that I changed my profile around a little while ago. It says Drew T, the Patriot journalist. The guy, for whatever reason, he's like, oh, so you're a Patriot journalist, so you peddle fake news, blah, blah, blah. He's like, so what kind of patriot is that? A domestic terrorist? And I'm like, no, I believe in common sense, dude. And we were going back and forth. And finally I told him, I said, man, you really are lost. I was like, why don't you get fitted for some cement shoes and take a walk off your local pier? So I tweet that. I sent that reply. Yeah. So apparently the guy went and cried to Twitter. They hit me with an email that says, your account is limited for the next 12 hours. Plus, I had to delete my quote offensive reply.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah. I had to because they make you delete it.
Yeah.
Right.
So dumb.
So it's like I'm stuck in Twitter jail for another like 5 hours. I can only DM people. I can't even see my timeline.
Wow, at least they were that nice. When I made fun of Uche during the whole Snyder thing, I got blocked for a week.
I mean, it's so stupid.
All I did was call him douche. Hey.
Well, this is so goofy because I wasn't even terribly offensive to the guy. I mean, my God, that's an old mafia movie trope, the cement shoes.
He told me that I need to go to an actual department store and go to a hardware store to get cement, then to make shoes. He wants me to do work.
He wanted me to work.
Humor.
I mean, it's just so goofy, the stuff that Twitter will put you out for. It's crazy. But
I'll be honest, like I'm so surprised. I'm like actually shocked that the Bounding into Comics account has never had any issues with Twitter.
I'm really surprised about
that. I'm like 100% shocked.
I cannot
believe it. I mean, really and truly though, I mean, you guys get away with because I know that we among the staff kind of rotate through the account, but the account never like is that snarky when tweets are made from the Bounding account. I mean, it can.
Oh, come on! Are you saying?
They are.
I mean, John. Yeah.
Are you saying I don't have the snark? You're telling me
no, you do.
Snark?
You do, but you kind of just drop the J. Jonah on people.
That's what I do now. I'm just like, it's not worth like debating these people because you're not gonna like win them over. They're so stuck in their ways.
They just want that attention. So,
but they want attention.
I just J.K. Simmons got the royalties on that GIF.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Yeah. I just can't believe, John, that somebody got mad.
It really is.
Because I had the word Patriot in my name. Like,
we know that that's a trigger for these types of people nowadays.
Yeah, that's
I guess I'm a domestic terrorist guy.
I can't tell you how much that the hashtag Comicsgate in my bio has saved me from not interacting with Dan Slott, not talking to Kelly Sue DeConnick, all these other people that just participate in these chain blocks just because I like crowdfunding comic books that actually want to be comic books, write them well, draw them well, actually listen to their fans and engage in content, and don't want to sit there and act, I'm above you. Marvel pays my paycheck.
You don't want your authors and creators like going into your DMs and demanding that you delete tweets exposing your bullcrap.
Yeah, or Mark Wade like calling up Ethan Van Sciver from the airport, yelling at him, I'm worried about your crazy Twitter mob.
No, what's really funny is that you get labeled like that you're part of a hate group, and like what all you've done is like
buy
copied.
books.
No, all you've done is copy and pasted what they tweeted and put it in an article.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, you're part of a hate group for exposing what we said on Twitter.
If you don't want somebody to interact with your crap, private your account. Don't post it.
Oh, don't forget, John. When people try to Google search us, what does it say? Bounding into Comics alt-right is one of the first things.
That's because of that
suggestion. I know.
It's because of that fake freaking fact check website that literally thinks that I own the website. Like the fact check is wrong. Like you go in there, it's just wrong. Like a fact's wrong.
It's hilarious. Like it mentions like Bounding into Comics is truthful. However, like they talk about the Alyssa Wong tweet where they're like, "Oh, John Trent once wrote an article about a tweet that was fake." You like retracted it. You said like, "Hey, this was wrong."
No,
like you put the edit.
That story is still up. It's never been
but it's updated, isn't it? Or did
I wrote another article.
Yeah. So
Shit.
Hold on. So you addressed it still, and yet that website still says like, "Oh, he ran this one thing once." Because of that, we have to deem them false. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what a leap.
Shinkai, I need to do that with my profile, dude. Yes, I'm gonna do that.
Tehillim says, Spider-Man isn't villainous enough for J. Jonah Trent. Spider-Man isn't hero enough. Yeah, my Spider-Man right now is Andrew Farago. He seems to be coming at us on Twitter. I'm just having a lot of fun with him. So I think he thinks that we're under his skin, and I'm literally just like, I just quote tweet him and like share like articles. Like, please read more stuff.
Here's this, yeah.
I shared the one that I don't know. I did that one like a couple years ago where I like it was like an actual satire of a Vulture article or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was like #Comicsgate. How something like how an anti-free speech movement became profitable for clicks or something like that. Because they were trying, and I just like completely satirized them on what they did, and I obviously like changed like what they were saying were the events, and I was like, well, these are what put the fans off, and it was like Spider-Woman cover and like Batgirl cover, Batgirl variant cover, like
Raphael crime work.
Oh, Tony, you are a savage, Mr. Roof Korean. All right,
and that was all before the milkshake stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was way before all that.
The infamous milkshake photo.
Yeah. Tehillim says maybe one live stream you should have your name show up as J. Jonah Trent.
I think you need to go full kayfabe. I think you just need to show up with the stash.
Oh man, I would love
like on a Halloween stream for October. Like each week you're a different editor. So one week you're Perry White, the next week you're J. Jonah Jameson, and then the next 2 weeks you can pick any arbitrary editor you want.
Who's the guy? What's the other guy? Who's the guy in Daredevil, the investigative reporter?
Ben Urich?
Ben Urich.
Yeah, Ben Urich. Yeah, I could do Ben Urich too. There's a lot. Man. I mean, could do Eddie Brock. Could be Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. You could have other photogs, other people in the group. You could have a whole cosplay Black Bill stream.
You can put on a wig and be April O'Neil.
No.
If you identify, if you're gender fluid that day and you feel like you're a white redheaded woman,
no, absolutely not. All right, I know we're having a lot of fun right now. I do want to talk about this though. I think this is a huge number. It has more than I know that Culture was talking about this with I think it was on his stream earlier today. He had Tom on. So I need to but I think what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. I think that Shang-Chi now has more gross than Black Widow did in its first 6 days. So let me pull Black Widow up. I think I have to go here where it says like compared to.
Yeah.
So Shang-Chi, just go back down here. Where are we at? Oh, let's go back. 101 domestic right now, 101.2. And Black, compared to, this is not what I wanted. I just want this one. Oh, actually, no, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, Black Widow only had 95 million its first Tuesday. So it did make more on its first Tuesday though. So that is interesting. Black Widow did do 7.7, and Shang-Chi was already less than that at 6.6. So that is interesting. So while Shang might have more money over the first 6 days, it made less money on that first Tuesday, and obviously it made more money on that Monday because of Labor Day.
Labor Day, yeah, that makes sense to me. That the double disparity there, like more people went on Monday as opposed to Tuesday,
So yeah, I saw JDA was covering a story in Forbes. But what is the Forbes guy's name?
Oh,
his name.
Oh gosh,
He did a lot of the Star Wars stuff.
No,
it's not the video game guy. It's the
that's right. That
guy.
is the video game guy.
I can't remember his name.
Shoot,
he's like super chill.
Yeah.
Sometimes his analysis is decent, but a lot of times it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't remember. Why can't I remember it?
I can't remember his name either. But anyways, let's pull that up because I just read the headline. It's like it has more legs.
The true metrics are the positive critics' reviews. Fans cannot be trusted.
That do not talk at all about
Scott Mendelson.
Mendelson, that's right.
Shang-Chi box office bigger than Black Widow, leggier than Black Panther. What? Leggier than Black Panther?
Who even uses
Black Panther?
Who even uses the word leggier?
Right, Drew?
That's kind of a weird description.
Yes, it's got legs. I'll give it to him. It's got legs.
Maybe I come from a different stock where if you say something or some girl has legs, it has a different definition. It's just a weird context to put against Black Panther.
Oh. So no, a girl's got legs is different from it's got for saying something has legs. Like it has legs is it's an idiom. That's actually like a phrase. So he's like, so I don't know. I'm fine with it.
It's weird. It's weird, but it is an idiom that exists.
Yeah.
It's
just
strange flex, brah.
Yeah, exactly. Strange flexed.
Yeah. So I don't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 million. I don't know. Black Panther did 20 million on its Tuesday.
It on its opening day, that February 16th, it basically did Shang-Chi's box office alone. What are they talking about?
It's Thursday preview, it did 25, and then Friday it did 78, 76.
That's what I mean. Done. You've already beaten out Shang-Chi in those 2 days.
Let's see. How do I do the verses? How do you do this? How do you do?
I always forget.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Just add it. So now we can see. Let's see. Black Panther's in blue. What is he talking about? Black Panther's like a straight line up. What?
Black Panther's in a mile-high city.
Ship. Yeah.
And you got Shang-Chi over right by the actual coastline.
Yeah. Shang-Chi's it should be.
I
have a feeling it's gonna come like this. It's gonna go underneath this line.
Yeah,
I'm with you, John.
It'll definitely dip off after the next couple of days, maybe after this weekend.
Yeah, looking right here, it's already lower than Black Widow, so I expect it to keep going down.
Which is really surprising to me because Black Widow was a Disney Plus release, so I would have.
This is total gross, so we'll see.
Don't worry, we're gonna get that extra swell of height.
Oh yeah, Shang-Chi is right here, and it's on top of Black Widow right now.
Yeah,
they're basically at the same. It's a little
neck.
higher because it has a little higher gross, but it's already doing worse here. It looks like it's going to table off. It might have a bigger second weekend. We'll see than Black Widow, just because it's not on Disney Plus yet.
Right.
But we'll see. And we only have the numbers for Black Widow for that opening weekend. Disney only said they made 60 million opening weekend. They didn't say if they got purchases after that, right? Because it was 60 days or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Disney, all their schedule for all this stuff is so weird nowadays, or lately rather.
Roof Crane is saying, "Aren't you in Virginia? Don't y'all still use the phrase that dog don't hunt?" Yeah, I've heard that.
I've heard that.
Yeah, that dog don't hunt. Yeah. That's not a dog that you want. That don't hunt. But yeah, so I read this. Like, maybe I should read the article. Okay, but this headline, like, how can you? What? Let's see how he actually justifies.
Shang-Chi, more leggier. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Like, why are you like a wine? This is a leggier Marvel vintage.
This Marvel vintage is newer and fresher and more robust.
This is the $2 truck. I do not need the.
I'll just put it to you this
John
way.
P. of Captain America.
The Marvel litmus test is when my normies or my in-laws hit me up and go, "Hey, I want to know about this character. What, give me the elevator pitch for who Shang-Chi is." And I went, "He's the guy that teaches everybody kung fu on the hero side."
Yeah, he's literally the master of the martial arts. That's his tag.
Like, if you suck at fighting, you go to the Avengers version of Taskmaster. Which is Shang-Chi.
Or Taskmaster. Like, I think Taskmaster actually,
Well, Taskmaster's for the henchmen, but they needed some guy for the Avengers to do the exact same thing so they could say they hired a good guy.
Dude, so speaking of that specific thing, I don't know if we talked about this last week or the week before when we were talking about Shang-Chi, but in the Reddit AMA that I bitched about a week ago or so, Simu Liu, the guy, if you guys remember, he gets asked by one user 5 different questions, and then 2 of them are about food, and he only answers the ones about food. In the very first question, the guy says "Hey Simu, you've mentioned that your favorite storyline for Shang-Chi was Way of the Spider. What other storylines do you like?" And so I went and I looked, and yes, Simu talks about, I love the Way of the Spider storyline. It was a great storyline. That storyline is 2 pages long in Avengers comic. It is not it is not a storyline. It literally is just like
Tony Stark goes, "Oh,
it's
your
like a
spider
Snickers
sense isn't
ad.
working. You need to go to see Shang-Chi."
Right,
and then shows up in a Quinjet and learns Kung Fu like Neo.
That's
in the
almost
Matrix.
what happens.
Snickers ads have more story.
They really do. This storyline is literally just it opens on Spider-Man remembering there was this one time I was training with Shang, and Shang-Chi teaches him how to use his spider sense for kung fu, and it's maybe 3 pages, and I'm just go away, Simu. Be quiet. I'm done with you.
So this is what he's saying about. He's saying it's almost tied with the tickets sold 4-day cume of Doctor Strange, 91 million in 2016 and 98 million adjusted for inflation. Even with COVID variables, the lack of an A-level property and the comparative lack of everyone in America knows who they are, movie stars. And yes, it's unfortunately easier in pop culture for white actors to become general audience famous. What? It's unfortunately easier in pop culture for white actors to become general audience famous. I mean, is it?
No. Literally Bruce Lee. Literally Jackie Chan. Literally Will Smith. Literally Idris Elba. What do you people want?
Denzel Washington? I don't know.
Freaking Wesley Snipes. Blade. Put respect to the name.
I think Denzel Washington might be him and Clint Eastwood might be the 2, and maybe Tom Cruise are probably the biggest names out there right now.
Right?
Still.
No, absolutely. Also, I really like this from Shinkai. I like Way of the Spider because I could finish it before the interview started.
Yeah.
Honestly, absolutely.
No, I mean,
he Wikipedia'd it. He was
no, these people, anytime you ask these people about any of that stuff, they have no idea because they don't actually read the stuff.
Never.
I mean, we just did a article about, what's her name, from Dune, Rebecca Ferguson. She literally says in the interview, I read 20 pages and I put it down, and you're actually rereading it for the movie. You're reading it a second time. Are you she says this? I didn't include that part, but she says that to the guy.
It's so
and is actually shocked that he's rereading the book. And I don't know, one has to wonder if they actually read their scripts.
No,
if they can't read. She literally said she got 20 pages in and put it down.
Because look at the names of the show writers or the story teams, and then look at the script writers. There's maybe only ever 1 or 2 names that overlap, and that's bad. I don't think they look at their scripts. I think they throw out the ideas. People go, oh, crap, how do I make this work? Okay, there you go. And then we get it.
No, I think a lot of it, if you remember Joker, what's his name? The director. I can't remember his name right now.
Todd Phillips?
Todd Phillips, yeah. Phillips, he was he would literally say, we were literally just rewriting it on set. I think that happens I think that happens a lot. I really do. I think they just rewrite stuff on set.
Like, here's the thing: is like I'm okay with that. If you're like making, if you're making a movie and you go, oh man, I think we should do this instead. Like I get that. The problem, but the problem here is that like I don't. You
should at least have an outline.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like I don't think there's any general thing for them to be like, this is what we're trying to make. They're just throwing pieces at the wall anytime it happens, and they see like a bird fly by their window, and they're like, "Oh man, let's have the Falcon in this scene," like or something like that. Like,
yeah. And when you're doing an adaptation, you literally should just do an adaptation.
Adapt. Do not change things. Like,
right.
How hard is that to realize, guys?
Well, in the case of Shang-Chi, there's really in current Marvel, there's not a whole hell of a lot. Like,
no, there isn't.
He's the best way to describe him as an Avenger in the hierarchy of the Avengers. It's like, well, we're going to Madripoor. Yeah, let's get Shang-Chi. Oh,
he's literally a poor man's Iron Fist, honestly.
Yeah.
At least Iron Fist has like a magic fist.
He has a power, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then they'd given him powers like a rotating door, kind of like when Hawkeye had Pym particles. Like they gave him some lame ass power where he could multiply himself, so he was a one-man army.
Oh no! Or
was that like a Phoenix power?
No, so he actually, I've covered that. It's in an Avengers. You're right. It's in an Avengers run, but he gives himself to this alien like race that had like crash landed or something, and they open up. They like since he surrenders himself, they then grant him their abilities because he was trying to figure out how to like access their tech or whatever, and their tech allows him to like create clones. But yeah, no, he has that cloning ability.
And then they got rid of that, and then like exactly what Spencer was saying, he embodied the Phoenix Force for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Now he's killing the Marvel universe.
I think he can also like empower his weapons with his own like chi now too. It looks like.
I think there's something like that. Yeah.
Because they like I've seen pages where like his weapons are like have like a blue glow to them when he's like fighting. So I don't know if that was the artist just trying to like highlight his weapon, the colorist highlight the weapons, or like
do a stylistic thing.
Him literally like channeling his like energy into the weapons to like make them more like devastating.
So he's Chi
Gambit. I'm fine with that.
He's what?
Kind of.
He's Chi Gambit.
Kind of.
A little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Kinetic Chi energy.
Vintage Comic Love says there aren't any Asians in MCU Madripoor.
Dude,
somebody picked up on the joke. That's exactly what I was saying.
That was waiting at the docks for Zemo and Sharon.
That's like some shitty CB Cebulski writing where it's like, oh, it's Madripoor. Get Shang-Chi and have Wolverine as Patch. Like,
it's so bad. Like, they don't know how to use. That's the problem. Is like you're spot on, Steve. Is that like right now Shang has nothing to do. We've got Iron Fist. We've got a million other hand-to-hand combatants. Like, really hard to just kind of, put him on the same level as, like, Spider-Man or Captain America. But the problem is Marvel is so afraid of being criticized and wants to be so woke that, like, they won't go to the old stories where there's good stuff. Like, fights against the Mandarin and, like, Shang trying to, like, reclaim his title as the master of Kung Fu. All that stuff they won't touch because racism, even though it's, like, way better than... They literally are just doing another Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe. That's even how they advertise it. Like, we're doing it again. And I'm like, I don't care.
So I haven't seen the movie, but they said in interviews that like they weren't using the Mandarin and then they weren't using Fu Manchu. And so they created another character named Wenwu.
Like Tony Leung's character. And it's just like, just make him the Mandarin. Like, I don't...
And all the hype that was supposed to be around that, like, hey, we screwed up in Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin. And we'll pay that off. It's nothing.
I'm sure.
Yeah, from what I understand, I mean, so I have the video. I think we're like the only ones on YouTube who have it.
Trevor is kept in a dungeon, and he helps him escape.
Yeah, he shows up in the movie. I heard that Slattery's in the movie.
Oh, Trevor Slattery.
Kingsley's character is there, and I guess he helps Shang escape from
Mandarin's dungeon.
Wenwu's. What's that?
He helps him escape from the dungeon. He's like, "Hello, I'm Trevor." Yeah.
But they retconned the short where they said that the real Mandarin exists and it's not the real Mandarin. He's being kept by
my thing is,
Windu.
it's like the implication in that Mandarin short was like, we're freeing you to kill you. So the real Mandarin, you're going to be brought
or something.
Yeah, you're going to be brought before the real Mandarin to be exiled or killed.
To face sentencing, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just thrown in a dungeon.
So does the real Mandarin like actually exist still, or
it's all convoluted. Like if I was the real Mandarin and this guy was running around parading to be me, I'd just kill him.
Do they make any connections with the Iron Man movie?
Like the 10 rings, like the actual organization?
Yeah.
Very loosely.
It's like a name drop.
It's like, you thought like...
Did the Mandarin get his eyes scratched out by Shang-Chi?
No, it's not even rings. They're bracelets.
No, we did I don't know if you saw this, but the guy tried to explain why they're bracelets and said that they're like kung fu bracelet, the kung fu rings that people use to like do weight training. You put them on your wrists or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you look at the rings that they have, they're all different sizes, and they like literally like attach to his arm, and like they get bigger as it goes up.
It's so weird.
And looks like it's like biting into his. I don't know. I didn't buy his explanation. Like if they
he
were
also
actually...
said his other explanation was like rings just look weird, and it's like, bro. Everybody did you miss the Snyder cut like drama where everybody wanted Green Lantern? Like, what is wrong with you?
Did you see what you made? Because that looks
right.
Weird. Like what?
Just the stupid like tug of war that they like use as like the advertising shot.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
But the way how they explain that the Mandarin is a name that he's called in the film.
Yeah.
So he's gone by so many names, like that generic thing when they're immortal, like Ra's al Ghul.
It's so dumb.
No, dude,
you're
the Mandarin.
I don't like it. Yeah,
no, but I've been called the Mandarin. But dude, you're the Mandarin right now. Yes, but I'm not.
That like at that point, it's like, so you just like go by what anybody like. What does it? Do you just adopt the name anybody calls you? Like, hey, Farthead. Like I've been called many names: Mandarin, Farthead. That guy.
And the 10 Rings is one of his many organizations he's involved with. So they're doing they allude to the Masters of Evil.
They're trying to make him into Zemo.
But he dies, right?
Because they wasted Zemo.
Does he die? Like, because I know the spoilers say that his like daughter takes over.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's how Shang-Chi gets the rings to defeat the demon.
Oh, there's a demon?
Yeah.
Like they actually put a demon in the movie?
Yeah, so they think the demon is parading around as Shang-Chi's mom.
I don't know.
So like the Mandarin's getting visions. I'm just calling him the Mandarin just to streamline it.
Okay.
But he's getting visions of one of his many wives, because they reveal like the guy's 4,000 years old. That the rings give him like all these like crazy Mary Sue level powers.
Like Shang-Chi's dad is? Okay.
Yeah. He's like 4,000 years old, and apparently he's only concerned about these two kids after living 4,000 years.
Right. Okay.
And so he keeps on getting visions of one of his wives that's the mother of those two. Like, come and free me. You're going to have to use the powers. You're going to need the kids. You're going to need to come to this holy place and free me. And it's really a demon trying to convince him to like, hey, let me out.
This movie's weird.
So the Mandarin's never really truly evil. What? Like, it's a stereotypical Marvel bullshit where it's shades of gray. Like, the Skrulls aren't evil. They're just misunderstood.
Oh, that was a bad twist. I hated all of that.
I'm still confused. So he has these, like, 10 rings that he's had for, like, centuries. And millennia, right. And now it's millennia. So he's been living for over thousands of years now.
4,000 years.
Okay, so, oh, wow. Okay, that's really interesting. I'm not like,
and like Shang-Chi's story, like he runs away from all this mystical criminal background to become a parking valet in San Francisco with Awkwafina.
Oh, that's what he is. He's a parking valet.
Yeah.
Guess that. Yeah.
That's where that comes from.
I wasn't sure if he was like a theater.
I thought he was a theater guy too.
Nope, he's a parking guy. He's just a parking boob with Awkwafina.
But so no, I'm still confused. So he's been living for millennia, and then all of a sudden he's now seeing visions that a demon is giving him to want to free his wife, and he falls for it.
Yeah.
Wow, so he's an idiot too. Okay.
Right, like, okay. Remember, John, when we went over, I forget who was with us. I think John might have actually been around. But when we went over that page of the original Mandarin, like, that showed him, like, and it said, like,
the brilliant genius.
Yes, that's what I'm referencing. Like, I would imagine that a guy who has lived for 4,000 years, who is this powerful, who has his fingers and everything, wouldn't know better than to just be like, oh yeah, that's true, let's go. I'm not going to look into it at all. I'm just going to go.
He's literally, like, it sounds like they literally tried to make a Marvel version of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he sounds like.
And the name of the demon is called the Dweller in the Darkness.
The Dweller in the Darkness.
The Dweller in the Darkness.
Okay.
None of this sounds cool. None of this sounds fun.
Shang-Chi has to embrace the good mystical energies and summon the great dragon to fight the demon at the end.
Well, at least it's
weird.
Does he look like that?
The Cthulhu creature?
No.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I know that he's real, but they probably didn't make him look tight.
How many? 1974. So he's been around. Let's see how many issues he's been in now. 25. He's literally a nobody character.
You think that would have been like an actual Doctor Strange level character that they would have used? Like if it looks like Cthulhu?
Right?
It does. I mean, that's a cool design, not going to lie. Looks cool.
He used to be like Cthulhu with a big brain.
But yeah, he's literally in 25 appearances, it says. Where is it? Did I pass it already?
And he's like fighting Strange in most of them.
25 appearances. So, yeah, not a lot. All right. So let's get back to this Forbes article. We totally actually, yeah, I want to do. I see your super chat, Ruth Korean. I've got it up, but I do want to talk about this real quick before we get to that. So he says here, 94.5 million Friday Monday debut would have been until just 3 years ago, top of the line for a non-sequel origin story solo MCU. So he's trying to say that, like, oh, because it's an origin story, it's doing so. It's the first movie.
Nope.
Doesn't Shang-Chi had an identical 4-day multiplier. This is why he's saying it. 3.176 from a 29.6 million Friday to Black Panther.
Dude, you're like, this is like he's reaching for all of these metrics.
He's doing that. This is Labor Day. This is why this even works, because of Labor Day. Ditto. What does that even mean? Ditto. The made almost as much on Monday as Friday factor. Black Panther earned 51 million in pure Friday grosses, and then 40 million on President's Day. No, that's not what the number says. The numbers literally says.
Bro, look at his justification though. His justification is awful.
His numbers are wrong though, because Black Panther on Friday, we just saw that here. Where's my comparison one? Black Panther here on that first Friday, 75.
Blew it away.
So okay, I guess what he's doing is their 75 is 50 plus 25, and that's what he's adding. Yeah, he's 51.
But like, look at his justification there. Even if it's way too early to even hope for similar post-debut legs, the size of the Monday gross, 66% of the Friday total, compared to the Friday-Sunday grosses, is closer to Black Panther than Thor: The Dark World. Like, what even is that comparison? That's not about. That is trivia. That is trivia at best. That is not any sort of metric.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, what about, like, Face Off or like a Harry Potter movie? Like, I'm sure they had great grosses, too, but we're not heralding them as, like, the second coming of cinema.
But there was actually groundswell for those characters that came out. Nobody was like, woo, Shang-Chi, man, get ready for this ride.
Right?
Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Like, we all remember how annoying it was, but all of the, like, fanaticism around Black Panther, like, not even, I did nuts. Nobody's throwing up hand symbols for freaking Shang-Chi.
Let's see, like,
Asians don't even like Shang-Chi.
He literally just, like, this line right here basically just contradicts his entire headline and his whole claim. He's like, well, I don't really know. We'll see.
But it's still got 45 days in theaters, so...
Yeah. All right.
Shang-Chi might not be the next Black Panther in terms of global grosses, but it might yet be just that in terms of domestic legs. Again, that qualification of legs, because when something has legs, it means people have interest in it. So he's literally just saying, like,
it could.
People are going to, like, let's hope that people have the same interest, and not even, like, ticket buying interest, just interest in the film as Black Panther. And it's not there. Like, it's such a disingenuous... Again, it's the word games they're playing. They're constantly trying to shift the narrative so that it's always in their favor. Like,
Spencer, this will be the hottest movie only in Tempe, Arizona on a Friday afternoon. So therefore, Shang-Chi wins.
Oh, you're totally... How could I have forgotten? How could I have forgotten that key Tempe, Arizona midday
all 2 people
demographic?
That were off of work that day that bought matinee tickets in Tempe, Arizona.
Like, like, Gary has been going, he's been doing, Gary from Nerdrotics, he's been tweeting lately, like, he looks up, like, the theater, or, like, show times for Shang-Chi, and they're all pretty empty. Like, it's pretty bad.
It's got legs, bro.
Look at that. So many legs.
Black Panther.
Legs feed the wolf, man.
Look at the interest on Google. Black Panther, all the way up here. In when did it come out? 2018, February 2018. Shang-Chi isn't even like it's not even at a quarter of the Google trends.
Dude, that is Black so Panther. Poor. There's no legs here.
Yeah. So I don't know what he's talking about.
The only legs it's gonna have is when it karate kicks itself in the ass.
I wished.
So I mean,
and again, like everybody is being so. Like, guys, like, it's just like John saying all day in his articles and on Twitter, like, everybody's being disingenuous. Yes, it did better than projections, but that still doesn't mean it's doing good. Like, it just means it did better than projections. And I don't think it has legs. I don't think it's going to have this amazing
but it's like the old Mad TV sketch. Lowered expectations.
Dude, I love those. Those are great. But yes, exactly.
I forget who I was listening to, but someone was saying, I think it might have been Odin. I was listening to Odin's analysis, and he kind of, I think it was Odin. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. Whoever it was, they were saying that because they like had those like super like because Box Office Pro came out with those like really like low like projections.
Yeah.
No, it was Clownfish. It was Clownfish that said it. It was Neon. He was saying because they had those low expectations, you have the big headlines that are like, "It blasted through the expectations."
Yeah.
But the reality is, it's the third worst. It had the third worst opening weekend in Marvel Cinematic Universe history, and literally the only 2 films it beat was a 2008 film, The Incredible Hulk. So literally the second movie in the MCU ever.
Entire MCU.
Second movie in the MCU ever, and then Ant-Man.
Oh, that's sad. But I get that one.
That beat. I thought Ant-Man was a great film.
Oh no, I do too. It's one of my favorite MCU ones. But I do remember like a lot of people being like, "What Ant-Man? What the hell?" Like I don't care. So like I get that, but yeah.
I mean, and Ant-Man was like 2015, so we're about like 7 years into MCU, 7 years after Iron Man. He never got introduced in like the Black Panther was introduced in Civil War, so Ant-Man was kind of just was out there. Like, yeah, he was one of the kind of original Avengers, but I mean, he was definitely lower on the list than Tony Stark when it comes to.
Yeah, I mean, we're like
memorability.
We're so far into these movies, we're starting to get to the bargain bins for production ideas. Like now we got Shang-Chi. I don't understand how Moon Knight was picked for TV and not a film over Shang-Chi.
Batman, that's why.
Yeah,
it's 100% Batman.
Because schizophrenic Batman that's violent.
But that's it. But to the Marvel people who don't read this crap, or not this crap, but like who don't read the stories, they don't know. They just see white suit Batman. So they go, oh, how can we like differentiate it? We don't want to try and compete with the legacy of the Dark Knight or draw those comparisons. So let's compete with
I don't know what they're putting out with Twilight Boy in the Batsuit versus having a lethal Batman that's willing to kill and break necks and collect
But again,
checks.
like that, you see that because you are a fan and you've actually engaged in it. These people haven't. They just see. Again, it's Wikipedia. That's what they do. They Wikipedia. What the heck is Moon Knight? Oh, he's like Batman. Okay, that's where we're going. This is Marvel Batman. It's like no creativity, no.
It's like let there be carnage. I thought there was going to be carnage. How can you have carnage in
with a PG-13 rating? You can't. They did that with the last movie, and that was the biggest misstep of the last movie.
I'll argue that you can. Like, I think you can have pretty intense violence in a PG-13 movie, especially now.
If you can't show violence or blood, like.
No. So I'll argue that maybe, like, I think I would buy that argument like 30 years ago, where PG-13 was much more restrictive than what it is now.
But it's going to be like Doc Ock Spider-Man 2 level if they do carnage.
I mean,
like,
I don't know.
That's the problem with.
I mean, the one still has the guy up against the wall. It looks like he's about to kill him.
What he'll probably do is he'll be up against the wall, and then you'll get a close up of the person's face going, "Oh," and that's it. Like you can't have the sort of like rip roaring. I'm just going to go on a rampage and slice throats and sever heads of carnage in a PG-13.
True.
Like that's the problem. Is that you can have violence, but for carnage you need ultra violence. Just like,
I mean, doesn't Venom bite the head off those guys in the convenience store?
But you don't see it. You don't see it. It literally is like he picks it up and then like
hands away.
It cuts. Yeah. It goes.
No blood on the floor. Not the convenience store lady going, "Oh shit! Now I better go get a mop."
It's just like pick up and then like it moves to like the front of the store and then it cuts.
And then even with that trailer, it's like the way how they portray Carnage's weapons. It's all so heavy tentacle and it's not blade. Yeah, there's no scythes, there's no axes, there's no knives, there's none of that Mark Bagley kind of ultra hyperized weaponry that Carnage had.
Yeah, so that's my problem with it. Like, you can have good violence in PG-13 movies. It's not impossible, but for this specific character, you need to be R. Just like with Deadpool, you needed to be
R. He's a serial killer.
Blade, exactly, right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, okay, we've already seen natural-born killers. Now give that guy a symbiote and watch him go to town.
Right, that's really what it should have been. And unfortunately, they want to sell T-shirts to teenagers, which, like, I forget who said that. Somebody on Twitter, one of our readers,
Carnage, the serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. They will, but I mean, he's got a cool design, so like I like him. But like I saw one of our readers,
and he's
on Twitter,
different from Venom.
He's extremely different from Venom.
That's like because the only way that you could tell them apart in the trailer was, oh, that's the red one. I don't screw with those.
So actually, I'll be honest. Like we have one of the stills that Sony gave us is like Venom, but it looks like Carnage.
Yeah,
like
I saw that.
It is like you can see the Venom head, but the rest of the body looks like Carnage. I'm just like, what's
going on here? It's not right.
And they label him as Venom, and that's from Sony. That's not us putting that in. That's what they.
They wanted to list him as.
Here, I'll pull it up here. Let me.
Some PA accidentally spilled the beans about toxin, and they didn't realize that they were doing it.
Yeah, honestly. Dang, what was I gonna say about?
I'm actually kind of hyped on this. I didn't watch the first Venom, but I think. Like, there's no woke marketing. I haven't seen any woke marketing. I get the complaint with the R.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool.
I'm willing to watch it. Like, the first one was okay. Like, I feel like it was held back by the fact that it didn't.
Oh yeah, that's
I don't get it. That's like it should clearly be Carnage.
That looks like Carnage. It's almost even the red color, but they're saying that that's Venom, and you can see it. Like
it's Carnage.
He's even got the eyes. Yeah, the Carnage eyes.
I mean, they're calling it Venom, though.
I know. No, they're wrong. I'm with you. They're weird.
That's what that. I mean, that I didn't change that.
And that looks like probably like one of the first stills after he gets the lethal injection and the symbiote takes over and he becomes Carnage and attacks everybody in the room.
Yep.
So they weren't actually. I mean, the way they described it is that. So you think the symbiote's hidden in the injection?
Well, he's already
he already has
he already has the symbiote, but the catalyst that causes the symbiote to come out within Cletus is the lethal injection.
Well, in there, like the production notes,
because he bites Eddie on the hand, so that's how he transfers some of the symbiote into him.
He gets it through his blood.
Let's see here. They did release the production notes.
Because just being a Venom nerd, I've watched that trailer I think 10.
It says here, right here, when this is literally from Sony about how Carnage will come about in the film. It says when part of the symbiote leaps into Cletus' Cassidy moments before his execution, the serial killer becomes host for Carnage, an even larger, even deadlier, and much more malevolent Spawn.
Yep, that's going to be the scene where Eddie's going to interview him one last time before he gets a lethal injection. And for whatever crazy reason, Cletus goes nuts, lunges at Eddie, and bites him in the hand.
He bites him. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
Here it's saying that the symbiote leaps into him, though.
Probably that's what he means. Like he bites and then
he bites him and then it jumps into him.
Yeah,
okay.
It jumps into him like that.
Okay.
Which doesn't happen in the comic books. It's just that symbiote spawns, and Venom's not the biggest fan of that.
Right. All right. I am like. I mean, there's more. There's Carnage.
I mean, I'm happy because they're putting in Shriek, and they have that whole relationship between Shriek and Carnage, which was kind of like
this. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it was just kind of like the Bonnie and Clyde relationship because Shriek's another weird person that's incarcerated with Cletus too.
They're saying that they are going to. That's like what's going to happen. Like Andy Serkis literally calls the movie a love story. Like he's like the love between Venom and Eddie, the love between Eddie and what's her name, the Michelle Williams character.
Even though she's getting engaged to the other doctor that was in the first movie.
Right. Then you have the love story between Cassidy and Naomi Harris's character, who's Shriek, and then it'll be interesting to see if there's like a love story with Venom and Carnage, like. So, but I mean, he literally calls it a love story.
It's supposed to, like, even in the comic books, because it's his progeny. Like, they kind of like when they address each other initially, it's kind of like he's like a deadbeat dad. Like he doesn't want Carnage to exist as a symbiote. He's pissed off at it. And then Carnage eventually has Toxin, which is another symbiote, which looks like both of them. And Carnage doesn't want that one, but then Venom kind of recognizes it as his grandchild.
It got so weird for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Because then Toxin becomes somebody else, and then that guy leaves, and then they split. Symbiotes are way too, like...
And I don't even know who the hell Toxin is now.
Toxin is like... Toxin is self-sustaining. He like, went into space for something. I think, like, they Planet Hulked him or whatever, and he attached himself to a Kree guy, and now the Kree guy is dead, but Toxin still, like, uses his body to, like, move around and talk and stuff. So, like, when he peels back, like, the symbiote, it's just like a corpse. I don't know.
I think this still looks really cool with Carnage, I think.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Slither.
Oh, the old James Gunn movie?
Damn, man, you're calling it old? You're making me feel... Let me go get my Gerontal. Come on. The old James Gunn movie that was only like 10 years and change ago.
Slither was like 2006, so that's 15 years ago.
I can see what you're saying here now, because when he's actually in action, they all look the same. They're just like pointed spears instead of like cool, unique,
like swords or whatever.
All right, let's get to the super chat from Roof Korean. He says, in the earnings call, an investor grows some nuts, tells Disney to stop using coup shutdowns as excuses. If so, detrimental. Why donate to Newsom? I don't think that's going to happen, because when you have the investor calls, the investor calls happen only once a year. The shareholders thing only happens once a year. The investor calls are usually I think you were talking about the quarterly financial calls, and those are just calls. Like bankers, literally just bankers.
Came out to a rally. My lovely governor in California came out to a walking, and I retweeted it. To Tupac Shakur as a hype intro.
Newsom's trying too hard.
I saw a clip where he's like, "Women are better politicians than men," and he was basically advocating why he shouldn't be governor. It was so weird.
Like shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah, it's like because he was doing something with Elizabeth Warren. He was trying to like praise her, but at the same time, it's like, well, if you think women are so great, why don't you step down then? Like.
Yeah, right. Like, why don't you give you a spot?
Or a couple weeks ago, he was helping out that homeless problem in Skid Row, grabbing a broom and sweeping stuff up, because that's how you handle it.
Yeah. Well, dude, he got an egg throw, or Larry Elder got an egg thrown at him by a white woman wearing like a monkey mask. Like, wow,
a gorilla.
Like, yeah, a gorilla mask.
Whoa,
it's a pink-haired gorilla too, just for extra like theme.
Insult to injury.
Yeah.
Had to have the pink hat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Culture Casino is talking about this a little bit last week on the stream. It might have been on his stream too. I don't know, because I've been actually watching I've been watching Culture Scene streams. I enjoy them. But he was, if I remember correctly, he was saying that what was he saying? He was saying that Newsom was the one who allowed the studios to work during
while restaurants were closed.
Yeah, while the restaurant. Remember the video of the woman who had her restaurant shut down, and they built the whole like catering
literally
thing
across the street.
Yeah, and it was like for a movie or TV production or something like that.
That was
So
bad.
I think that's probably why they're trying to pat him on the back, despite like him shutting down the parks and them losing tons of money with the park shut down. He did open up the state for like the productions, and
I mean, we needed to get, John. We needed He's All That, the sequel to She's All That, filmed during the pandemic at the LA train depot.
We needed
a mediocre sequel of a movie that is
nobody
from
remembers.
a bygone era. I mean, if Slither is ancient,
I'm not.
Yeah, right.
I liked the She's All That. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, no, that
It's
movie's
like,
good.
I
like
enjoyed that movie quite a bit.
I don't need a modern day remake of it that gender swaps it just so I can get bashed over the
with
head
the kid from Cobra Kai as the character.
With like
they
very
doll up
blunt messages. I don't need that.
My sister-in-law watched it. She said it was no good, and I was like, "Dude, what did you expect?"
Went straight to Netflix. Back in our day, we had straight to video. Now we have straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
There is no filter as long as there's money still being thrown around.
All right. We do have another. Okay, we have another super chat here. See it? I saw it. Where did it go? Here we go. Ravul Arvita says Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train, made more than $500 million US dollars. Yeah, I think a majority of that obviously came from
Hype.
Hype, obviously, but most of it came in Japan. I think it did almost 100 million in.
It beat the theatrical record that was set by the last My Hero film.
Oh yeah,
it just crushed it. It crushed all of it. It finally crushed actually Studio Ghibli films for once.
Yeah, Demon Slayer. So this came out literally December 2020, I believe, in US. In Japan, I think. Let's see here. When did it come out? Does it tell me? 364 in Japan. Let's see. It'll tell me here.
October of last year.
Yeah, October. So it came out in October of 2020 in Japan. I think December was it? When did it come out in the US? I think it might have come out. What was the first?
It was like a few months later. Because we also had to wait.
April. It was in April.
Because we had to wait. Because they also waited for the dub of it.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so April 23rd, 47.7 million total domestic.
And there's a rated R movie that did well.
Was it rated R?
Oh yeah, he goes into a dream sequence and he keeps killing himself like multiple times to wake out of it.
Woo. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, it's hard because he was like, it's not gonna. I don't know how to like actually look at it. It's not gonna. If I do worldwide, it's not gonna.
Well, it has a domestic, which would be its Japanese gross. It was there on top, which was like the 47 million.
It was like 370. No. That's domestic on us is always US.
Yeah,
Canada.
that's what okay. So international.
This number is always US and Canada. International will be Japan, and it's right here. It's 364.
Yeah, it made its money 8 times over.
Yeah. But it's not going to show here because most of that global money was done in 2020. But yeah, I think that's actually a really good point, Rahul. Thank you for pointing that out. $5 Australian Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train made more than 500 million US. And if we look at global, that would put it as the number 4 film in 2021.
Dang!
If it was just 2021 release,
if anime movies were actually recognized.
Yeah, and the only non-Chinese film that's ahead of it is F9, and that had a Chinese release. And if you actually drop the Chinese release, that loses 200 million. So it's around what Demon Slayer was.
Nobody ever beats family.
Demon Slayer did not get released in China either. So,
and it's a head trip of a movie. It was a great film. And what was neat, it finally broke the mold with anime films where the actual movie connects into the series. So it was a fill-in preparation of season 2.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I think we were talking about that
last week.
So it had my geek. It was definitely scratching a geek fix where I'm like, the movies and the anime are all interconnected.
They all make sense now. Yeah, they all link together. Which
Not
is
like the
very
Dragon Ball movies and the Dragon Ball series. They go everywhere.
No, they link up now. Ever since what was it, Resurrection or Battle of Gods? They're all canon now.
Yeah, but how many decades weren't they? You know?
Oh, I know. It was like what, from World's Strongest to the Return of or Wrath of the Dragon, all 13 of those movies, not canon, but then canon, and then like not. They like picked and choose. It was so weird.
And they took characters, but they didn't recognize their canon lore, and then just throw them into the series. But I agree with what they're talking about. I'm hyped for the next My Hero movie because we go to the US of A.
Dude, I just love that one shot. Is my favorite thing. I want it blown up as a poster.
The shot with them in the stealth suits.
No, the shot of Deku being wanted for murder.
Oh, yeah, like literally, My Hero is going to do is doing the plotline better than Spider-Man.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, and that's the funny thing is he created My Hero as a love letter for his fandom to Spider-Man. That Deku is entirely inspired by Peter Parker.
Yeah, All Might's definitely Superman. That's pretty.
Oh yeah, absolutely Superman.
But this movie is just going to be like.
Has he said that about? Because I don't know. I don't really see Deku as.
Yeah, he's openly said that it's his love letter to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko in the creation of Spider-Man.
Okay, I mean I can see that for sure. I definitely.
Where he's kind of like a doughy-eyed young character starting into this hero world,
who has to like grow up fast and learn to adapt.
Yeah, if he's inspired by Peter Parker, is probably another reason why I like Bakugo better than him. I'm just not a Peter Parker fan.
He did additional connective tissue when he finally gave him the quirk of the Black Whip stuff. That was actually supposed to be like his homage to Spider-Man. Like,
okay,
I can see that now. Yeah,
this
is the best shot ever.
Yeah, look at this guy, man. Look at the.
We know what t-shirt he'll be wearing the day that movie comes out.
What's that?
You're gonna go straight to like Teespring and make your own custom Deku shirt and then go to the film wearing this.
Just with that shot on it, I absolutely am.
I just love this guy.
I'll make graffiti that's like Deku was right.
He looks like a pencil.
Yeah, he's just
like the chin is like the eraser.
Yeah,
chin in his head is like the eraser, and then like that here is the
I'll have an ultra weeb moment if they take the Vigilantes character of Captain Charisma and actually have him in the United States before his fall from grace.
I don't think they will. I wish I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I wish they would, but I don't think they will. Dang.
Or even just like a reference like Captain Charisma has been like they could do it post like after all the tabloid bullshit that gets him canceled in America. So which is like the biggest joke of the anime for the Vigilante series is like he's a canceled superhero.
Yeah.
Because he's a douchebag.
That's really legitimately what it is.
He's a great hero. He saves all these people, but he's problematic. So the cancel culture gets to him and they kick his ass out of America. So he has to rebuild himself in Japan.
Yeah.
This is Captain Charisma?
Yeah.
Or Captain Celebrity, however you want to talk about
it. Yeah, either one.
Whatever name you're going by.
But that's the main focus of his character.
I haven't read any of the Vigilante stuff, so that's something I have to catch up on.
So
I have finished.
He's like Booster Gold combined with Superman.
Yeah, oh, he's Booster Gold. Okay.
Like with Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. That actually sounds like a cool character. I mean, it's Horikoshi. He comes up with like awesome.
It's not Horikoshi. This isn't him. This is done by somebody else.
Well, I thought it was his story, but he has the other guy writing it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's how it is. Let's find out.
I think because it's hard to know because it's like story by.
I know.
Like, obviously, he's doing My Hero Academia.
It's based off of My Hero. Yeah, so it's like who does what.
Yeah. Because So I'm not like I'm
Yeah,
not sure
it's written by the guy, a different guy than Horikoshi.
right.
It's like Captain Celebrity if like Duffman was actually cool.
What do you mean if?
Duffman does not need.
I like
cannot breathe.
I definitely see the Booster Gold vibe.
Mm-hmm. The like show off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like his hairstyle. I know that that's like a
Look at those bike shorts.
So I like him.
He's got the big old football shoulder pads.
And
he literally has shin guards too. Look at his shin guards. He's got his shin guards.
Captain Celebrity's ready for anything.
He's got a Nike swoosh too.
Yeah, he does, like going into his shoulder. But there's no little version of him flying in it.
I have a better suit than Aquaman.
I mean, not hard.
So Hillam is saying someone posted something online on Twitter where My Hero Academia also has some inspiration from KHR. What's KHR stand for?
Kingdom Hearts. Oh, Hitman Reborn.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Is it Kingdom Hearts?
No, it's Hitman Reborn. Katekyo Hitman Reborn. I was just making a joke.
My mind went to Kingdom Hearts too. I wasn't sure if that's what it was. Like I was like Kingdom Hearts like revival or something. Remake or like
remake, remind,
Resurrection,
whatever.
Kingdom Hearts,
Resurrection.
Well, it's just the Vigilante series is kind of rad because it's obviously a prequel before the events of My Hero Academia, so you get to see like All Might in his prime. You get to see these other guys kind of trying to be street level heroes. You got Captain Celebrity trying to rebuild himself after being cast out of America. So there's kind of like, hey, you're from America. I went there. How's America? Like,
yeah.
Like, not great. I was kicked out of it for being a douche. Like,
it is really funny because you do get that sort of reverse thing where it's like you always have like American characters like, oh, what's Japan like? Like I've never been there, but now you get the reverse and everybody's like, America's great. What's it like? And he's like,
I got canceled.
Yeah. He's like, damn.
And this kid wearing the All Might hoodie, he has this like funky power. So it's
like
kind of like
yeah.
a faux Deku where like if he has to touch 3 points and then he can kind of like hyper slide around.
Yeah, I did read the first. I think I read the first issue. I just haven't gone further than that.
And Knuckle Duster, guy without powers. That's his crazy Batman mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's basically Wildcat. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I that's something that's on my list. I have finished up to 8. I finished all 8. I've got 9, 10, 11 ready to go. I just gotta sit back and read them.
He's almost like Midnighter.
The main series. Yeah, the design, but he like his role.
Oh yeah. Very Wildcat-y too with the like.
He looks cool. I
face,
like it.
Like the bottom face exposed.
Yeah, that's a cool design. I think one of my favorite designs is Fat Gum. I like that guy.
I love Fat Gum.
Fat Gum guy.
Fat Gum rules.
Yeah, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him
Not
in
a
season
long
5.
time. Not a long.
Like,
when was the last time we saw him? When they fought
when they were going up against Overhaul and Yakuza, when you had Red Riot and Fat Gum versus the Shield and the Spear Yakuza guys. Just a great fight. Such a good fight.
The entire arc is great. The Aerie rescue.
Yeah, I actually, I think that's what's so interesting with Horikoshi does it so well. You have like these heroes that like, or not the heroes, but you have these villains that actually have like philosophical critiques of like the hero society. Like Stain is like all these heroes actually aren't being heroes. So I'm gonna kill people to like make them better heroes.
He's pulling a reverse Flash.
Yeah. Well, and then you get now where we're at with the My Villain story arc, where you're getting the Mutant Liberation Army or the Meta Liberation Army, where these are kind of like it's not like a Magneto where there's one individual leader. Like I mean, they kind of have Destro as a figurehead. But I mean, all of them have all mutually agreed, like, hey, we're gonna do our nth degree to learn our powers, and there's more of us than there are of them.
Yeah, you definitely have that X-Men vibe coming out with them.
I mean, the last one was ultra dark with the one girl that can literally touch anything and turn them into bombs.
Yeah.
She was fighting Toga, like
she was blowing up Toga's blood.
Blood.
What?
That was so cool.
I was like, what is happening here? And then she was so like, I loved how she was a journalist too. Just like so creepy. And she's like, I will get the story. And she's like, and I'll do it by blowing you up.
Crazy lady.
It makes you almost feel sympathetic towards Toga, and then you're like, no, dude, she's like a psychotic crazy.
It's like, oh yeah, that's right, she's insane.
Yeah.
Like, what is it, that one scene we looked at the other day when like Dabi is meeting with the Yakuza or whatever for the first time, and they're like, who let her in? And she's just like, I want to stab people.
No, it was her first entrant. This is the first time we saw her.
Yeah.
And she was meeting with oh my gosh. Why can't I think of his name right now? With
Togashi?
No.
Mr. Cloudhead?
Yeah.
It's the cloud guy, but his name's like Kaga something. And then
don't call him SoundCloud.
No.
Oh, I like
the main villain. Why can't I think of his name right now? Shigaraki. Yeah. Yeah, she's meeting Shigaraki and Kagaruki or something like that. What's the purple guy's name?
Dabi.
No. The cloud, the warp guy. I
forget. Shit.
They just had a really good scene. They brought him back because they Kurogiri. Thank you.
Yes, Kurogiri.
So I'm helping us out here. But yeah, it's the first time where Shigaraki and Kurogiri meet Toga, and Dabi's there too, and they like show up, and
why?
Dabi's like, I think I'm out. This one woman is like insane. Well, like, let me see if I can pull it up because it's
like when
fantastic.
DC villains like realize the Joker is involved in something. It's like, nope, I'm out of here. That person is insane.
I like stabbing people. Yeah, and she's like, I love them. I don't only want to destroy things I hate.
Like, yeah.
What?
I just thought it was funny. Like, everybody's talking about Sticky Balls, like loving Mineta because they're taking what the manga said out of context. But it's like Toga openly came out and is like, she loves Urachaka to the point where that's why she had her blood.
Her quirk in the fight, yeah, or her blood. Yeah.
I think she loves Uraraka because she loves Deku.
I think it's also an obsession like that. Like, if I can be you, I love you because you're what he loves, so I want to be you. It's so weird.
Yeah.
She's like if Harley Quinn was done well.
Because she's crazy. Yeah. I mean, she's obviously a Harley Quinn.
Like, don't try to actually like water her down and try to say that she's just insane for the Joker. Like, she's just insane, period. And she's manic in anything that she follows and anything that she likes and loves.
Like, just look at her eyes and that smile. Like, yeah, she's crazy. She's just straight crazy.
Oh, did you pull it up already?
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah. Well, it was never taken down.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Like, my screen didn't come up. We never took my screen off stream.
You've got it from the season 5.
Yeah. Oh, you were talking about the manga page. No, I didn't get that, but you've got it.
I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find it. I'm on the wrong. I think it was in chapter 8 because that's what I was reading. Just gotta.
And yeah, it's like I would go through our Slack chat, but I know you and I send so much stuff that it would take like 4 hours to find it.
Yeah, plus that deletes stuff. So
yeah, after it gets to a certain point.
I just gotta find it.
Dude, Twice? Yeah, I think Twice might be my favorite villain too, Shinkai. And by gentleman, do you mean what's his name? Like Gentle Criminal?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Gentle Criminal. He's all right. That was
Bravo.
I only like that arc because of Deku getting his little like flick power, and he used it a lot there.
I like the idea that he was a YouTuber.
I did like that. That was really cool.
Yeah,
well, I also like that he wasn't like a good YouTuber.
Yeah.
Hey, some of us can't be great.
He needed La Brava to help him out.
And then even La Brava was just a fangirl, so she's like, it's doing numbers! And he looks and there's like 10 views.
Yeah. It's like better than you.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought his power I liked his powers too. The
bouncing
the
thing,
bouncing the air stuff.
or the trampoline.
Yeah.
Force
And then
jump.
she could like amp his powers up too. Because she
Mhm.
loved him or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of like that.
I think that was her power. Yeah, was that she could amp other people if she loved them. Yeah, Twice. I just really like Twice. I like Twice's design.
Here it is.
It's
I found
really
it.
simple. Yeah, there it is.
I think this is it. Hold on, let me full screen. Is this it? I think there's another page here. Yeah.
I think
She's
it's the
like-
next page. Yeah.
I think it's. Oh no. It's.
Oh man.
No, I think it's the next chapter. Hold on.
We know this is what you guys come here for, reading manga pages with us.
It's not letting me click it now. Hold on.
Hot content.
Toga is insanely amazing. I like her in this moment, like when she's fighting, like in the war. That's really cool. Yeah, there it is.
I think this is it right here.
I want to kill Mr. Stain.
Yeah, I don't get it. You some kind of freak.
Where is it? No. I think it was here. Is it here? Yeah, this is it. I want to be Mr.
Yeah.
Staney. I want to kill him. And then like Dobby's like, what does he say here? I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
Is this much really so dedicated to the cause? And then he's like, I mean, they're about to let this nut job join. Just straight up calls Toga a nut job. Like, and, I mean, you get like, look at her. She looks insane.
I love Shigaraki's follow up there. He's like, hey, at least freak girl here can state her own name. Like he still insults her. He's like, yeah, she's a freak, but hey, she can tell me her name.
Yeah, and then Dobby's like, I go by Dobby. Like, it's just like I played to make it a reality. But yeah, I don't know. I read this and I just thought this was hilarious.
It's really funny. I love this.
Figured I'd share with y'all. All right.
I want to make a world that's easier to live in. What a weird goal. Because I mean, it's a good goal for like all heroes, and we get it. But like, what's that mean for her?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Right.
What is easy living for Toga?
More
Just like-
accessible knives for everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody gets handed a knife.
Conflict resolution is only one stab away.
Dude, she'll bring back like samurai duels. She'll bring back combat duels for honor.
So I'm gonna move away from the anime stuff here. Let's talk a little bit about this Dune. What's going on with Dune?
Yeah, let's talk Dune. I really want it. I'm excited. I was excited for tonight's stream because we got both the Wheel of Time stuff and the Dune stuff, and I know that that's your exact wheelhouse. So I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on it all.
Yeah, I do want to answer that. Tehillim is saying, did I get to see that webtoon link? Did you send me something, Tehillim? So I didn't. I don't know where. If
I haven't
sent it
seen
to an
anything.
email. I didn't see it, and I didn't see it in a Twitter DM.
I didn't see it on our Twitter either. So
I don't know.
read up.
So yeah, if you want to just send it back again, go for it. Go for it because I didn't see it. Unless you're talking about something right now in the chat. So I don't know. But yeah, all right. So
Dude.
hat tip to Nerd Cookies because she I've actually been I feel like I've been slacking on the Dune coverage because it looks like a lot of stuff came out, but we just didn't get to it because there's a lot. So Discord. If you did it today, I haven't seen it. I have to look.
Yeah, we'll have to go.
Yeah, so Nerd Cookies is doing a really good job of covering a lot of the student stuff. So shout out to her. And so this is an article from LA Times. The movie's screenwriter, what's his name, John Spates, decided to explain
such a weird name.
explain why they decided to go with a black woman as Leah Kynes when he was originally basically like a white man. At least the description makes him sound like a white man in the book. And here's so obviously we had the exclusive on that they were going to gender swap Leah Kynes. This was like back in 2019. I was watching this. It's a terrible video. I'm very really I'm like so bad. I'm actually like sitting in front of a desk and like you can see the laptop in front of me and I'm trying to like read off of
Professional journalism.
I don't know if I've actually improved because I don't even do stuff with I don't do stuff on camera except for the live streams now. So I don't know. I like how I do. I like the production we got going on now. You can see what we were doing back in 2019, a little bit different. We were in the studio. Obviously not that anymore, but it was confirmed April 2020. Clearly a gender swap. And then we also our source had speculated that it was going to be Sharon Duncan Brewster as Leah Kynes. And obviously our source speculation was true. So here's how Frank Herbert, Dune author, described Kynes: tall, thin, long, sandy hair, sparse beard. The eyes were that fathomless blue within blue, under thick brows. His long hair and beard were musk. The blue eyes without whites were a darkness under heavy brows. Wisps of sandy hair from it matched by his usually I don't know when sandy hair is usually
sandy hair. It makes me think of beach blonde because you're using sand. Yeah. So I think of surfers or a California girl. So that's definitely leads there.
Yeah. Beneath the blue within blue eyes, remains of a dark stain spread down to his cheeks. A matted depression across mustache and beard showed where a stillsuit tube had marked out its path. And then obviously this is what she looks like in the trailer. So then Spade says here, I didn't include the LA Times link. Oh well, they didn't get it back. Sucks for them. But he says here, Herbert's novel is to some extent an artifact of its time. And it definitely skews male in ways that don't feel completely contemporary now. That's right. So I know Nerd Cookies points this out, but literally a science fiction novel set millennia in the future is an artifact of its time. Yeah, I guess Lord of the Rings is an artifact of its time too. So
of course it is because it's not diverse enough. You know that there are no black elves.
Ghostbusters 1984 was obviously already an artifact of its time. That's why they had to do the gender swaps in 2016. We were literally talking about Shang-Chi. The Snake Eyes movie was already an artifact of its time, even though it released in the same year as Shang-Chi.
Nope, never happened.
Because it didn't happen.
Sam Liu said it didn't happen. He's the first.
He is the first. Nobody ever came before him. Thank him, Asian people.
Yes.
He left Kim's Convenience, not because it was canceled, not because they decided to do a spin-off, and that's where he's known for a Canadian sitcom. It's because he went and did Shang-Chi.
I really hope every Asian out there is so happy to have finally gotten an Asian actor on screen.
Did he practice martial arts? No, he didn't have to, because he was ready at this time. He was learned choreography.
Made for it. Yeah, choreography.
Didn't he say something too about you would be able to see someone with their lived experience or something like that? I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure the 10 rings don't exist.
What?
They don't exist, and also you're Canadian. Whose experience are you speaking to? So it's a very specific movie made for Canadian kids, I guess, from his hometown. I don't know, man.
It's for him and Drake.
Yeah, pretty much.
but the Dune book, which I have no idea how many copies it sold, it's probably close to 100. I would assume it's probably up in the 100 million mark because the Wheel of Time I saw something was 80 million. So Dune is probably huge, and it's probably still
20 million.
Only 20 million. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Still, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
And I'm sure it's probably still where's it on?
And that's probably not even counting ebooks or
yeah, it's probably print.
Dune, the Sisterhood.
All right, here we go. Dune book. I hate this cover. It's so ugly. I'm not a fan. No, major motion picture, not yet. Let's see. Number 45. It's literally number 45 in books on Amazon. And this is the paperback, right? Did I click the paperback? Paperback. This is the paperback Number 45 on Amazon in books, in the book category.
Number one in short stories.
Number 5 in space operas, and number 5 in epic fantasy. But what does our boy here say? He says that it is an artifact of its time. And it's the number 45 selling book, 45th top selling book on Amazon right now. But it's an artifact of its time. Like, get out of here. Like the book is timeless. It's got timeless messages in it. It has interesting palace intrigue that doesn't go away. There's interesting drama. There's lots of themes. There's tons of different themes.
The thing is, like, these people don't engage with the themes. They don't look past, like, again, let me Google search a cast of characters, like Dune characters, image. That's as far as they go. They don't want to talk about the themes of like worship of idols is bad, or like imperialism will lead to war.
Don't put all your faith in like a government ruler.
Right, exactly. Like, there's all these great themes that they're just going to ignore because white man bad.
Yeah, betrayal, loyalty, having good intentions that go awry. Because you definitely see that, especially in the subsequent books.
Or even like later in the series when Paul starts to become godlike. Like, does absolute power corrupt absolutely, to the point where he's literally looking at his friend, dissolving him, and then bringing him back, and then dissolving him anytime his friend is like disagreeing with him when he's trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, and then you also like his son, Leto the second. Like, what is his Leto the second? I think is what he goes by, who turns into the worm, right? If I remember correctly, and then like him trying to change human nature to like breed out violence.
So he becomes like he becomes a dictator in his own right too when he gets those godlike powers.
Yeah, his son does. Yeah.
And
then like it skews male, but it's like literally just like, bro, like the Bene Gesserit are the ones who have been manipulating all of the political movements in this entire like universe, like for years. And then you literally also have his mother, Lady Jessica, who defies the Bene Gesserit and has a child with Leto against their like orders, because I think they wanted her to be with a Harkonnen, if I remember correctly. But she goes with Leto and has a child. And then you also have frickin' Paul's daughter, who has all of the wisdom of the Bene Gesserit, like, at conception. So, and she plays a huge role.
Which was kind of crazy in the 80s film, because she talks like an old lady that's been smoking like 10,000 cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, so, Paul, how's it going? I know everything. Paul.
But so I mean, she plays a huge role towards the end of the first book, and definitely plays a much bigger role in the sequel, second book. So, does it skew male? I don't know. Like, I get Paul is obviously the main character,
but so it's his daughter who's the one that's kind of the redeemer at the end, because the son's supposed to be the great hope, and he ends up becoming like a crazy power hungry weirdo, and it's the reluctant sister that has to step up to challenge him.
Yeah, YouTube me is helping with the name. It's been a while since I read the Dune books. Aaliyah was supposed to be the firstborn and only born, but she had Paul first, then Aaliyah, and Aaliyah is the one who was born a mother superior. So yeah, it's his sister. Sorry, it's Paul's sister, right? Yeah. Right. So not Paul's daughter, but Paul's sister. Thank you for correcting me there, YouTube me. It has been a while. Leto's second,
but I mean, they even expand upon the initial series, and they talk about all the prequel history that leads up to that. I mean, this is like this giant, huge civil war that's been happening for millennia in these books.
Yeah, so like you have the Harkonnens and the Atreides rivalry, but then like I guess I'm gonna kind of spoil. I don't want to. Do we spoil it? I don't know.
Here, let's give it a timeout. We'll give you guys 30 seconds. If you don't want Dune spoilers, hop on off the stream. I'm giving you enough time. I'm gonna keep vamping for maybe like 20 seconds so that I give you all that time. But again, Dune is like 20 years old, 40 years old. So I don't think it's that, or
it's like 50.
Was in the 60s. It's like it's
even
over
more,
60 years old.
Yeah, so even more so, and like even the movie is like 20 years old. So
there's been
like 30 years old. So
this is the third iteration of Dune that's been done. If you count the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries, which was actually kind of fun.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
But yes, with that, we are going to let John go, and you've been warned. So don't come for us.
So yeah, you have the hatred between the Harkonnens and the Atreides, but it's all being fueled by the the Padishah Emperor. What is his name? Freaking starts with an S. I feel like it's been a while, dude. It's been a while since I read these books. But yeah, you got the Padishah Emperor, who's the one who's like actually manipulating the events because he sees Leto, Paul's dad, as a threat to taking his place. So he needs to like chop him down. Shot him the fourth. Thank you. I knew it started with an S. Thank you, YouTube me. YouTube me is like just crushing the Dune stuff. And so you have that too. And then like even then Paul has to like he marries like Shadam's daughter, I believe, to at the end to like unite, and he keeps what's her name? Shani is his concubine or whatever, even though he's the one she really loves. So dude, I don't know. Excuse mail is I don't buy it. There's a lot of like literally the freaking like Reverend Mother like challenging him with the Jam Gabar shows who's in charge. Yeah, Princess ruling. Thank you, Yusumi. The Reverend Mother, man, like dude, just I don't know. I don't buy it. It'll be. Are they going to show?
It's they're only saying it's skews male because the main characters happen to be male. Like Paul is male. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he goes on and says, of all the messages in the story, the message brought by Liet Kynes of planetary stewardship, of the preciousness of resources, of the necessity of building bridges to local communities to sustain ourselves going forward. These are modern messages, and it seems. Wait, what? You just said it's an artifact of its time, and then you go through and tell me all of these themes that the book has are still modern messages. What? Can you explain to me how you can say that 2 sentences apart?
Preciousness of resources when it's all about capitalism and literally raping a planet of spice so they can control it.
It's the thing they always do.
Precious materials, my ass. Everybody's fighting over this planet.
Dude, it's literally what you were saying before, Steve. It's what you use that awesome term of like recent something, but like it does not matter what they said before because they only care about what they are presenting to you right now. To them, they think their readers are going to have forgotten what they just said.
He thinks you forgot it a sentence ago.
I know.
They act like you have the attention span of a goldfish.
Exactly. They probably write that sentence, pat themselves on the back, forget what they were talking about, and just write another one. Because it's always disconnected. It's always just like this point, and then this point, and then this point, but they never link. There's nothing to it. It's just weird, like personal hangups that they want to air all the time.
Yeah, like this, like it's so like I cannot express how like that is so. What did Drew say? He said something about relevant.
Recency. That's what Steve was saying. Yeah,
recency. No, it was Drew. Drew said it. Recency
of something
It said recency something earlier.
Because there was a really good term, and I remember saying like, "Ooh, I like that." Dang,
he said recency something, and that's exactly what this is. This guy literally says in this first sentence,
"This is old and decrepit, but hey, it still is relevant today."
Yes. Yeah. How do you what?
This book is outdated. But look at all these messages it has that apply today.
That are modern. What?
It's so bad. Like they think you are dumb.
But I will push back on what you're saying, Steve, about the preciousness of resources. I mean, I think he's obviously talking about the spice there, and I get what you're saying. But the spice, there is that preciousness of spice. There's that belief that the spice is rare because you only get it when because it's left from the sandworms and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I understand what he's saying there with that the preciousness of resources, and they need that in order to do their space travel.
But building bridges, like everybody's ready to kill each other for whoever gets it. So.
Yeah, the building the bridges to local communities, I guess he's trying to talk about like Paul reaching out to the Fremen, but that's literally out of desperation because his entire family's just been butchered and he's trying to survive.
Yeah, like, hey guys, remember we were trying to kill you on your own inhabited planet? And we got kind of killed by those other guys. So we're friends now, right?
We got counter killed.
And Paul and Lady Jessica literally talk about how they're going to manipulate the Fremen because the Bene Gesserit had already implanted the jihad message of the savior, the messianic person within their culture, and they're going to play Paul as that messiah.
Yeah, look how deep that shit is. Is that those witches over generations hit them with subliminal messages that don't worry, eventually this kid's going to show up and he's going to be your messiah. So if it so happens that it's this family, don't kill that kid. That's some deep shit. Like, you can't expect shallow people to do deep shit.
Honestly.
But excuse me, Al. These people literally manipulated.
Because that's the only criticism that they have about it, because they're reading this book and going, damn, this shit is deep. It's a man.
And so they decided to change Lit Kinds, though, because they wanted to modernize the messenger.
Which literally means they just want to race swap. They just want to. That's literally what it means.
They're trying to justify doing the gender and the race swap because it's the person who makes Paul woke.
Because it's exactly that. Because they're not going to change, at least from what I understand, and I'm probably the least doomed.
If you can't change the message, change the guy who's delivering the message.
That's the thing. I don't even think, from what I'm seeing and from what my limited knowledge, like. They keep they're keeping the character the same. So how is the messenger being changed at all outside of like essentially what they're wearing? Like their outside quality. You're not changing the character. So
the superficial is the most important stuff.
Exactly.
Didn't you know
exactly.
That?
No, that's what I was trying to teach all of you right now.
So I'll be devil's advocate here, and I'll say I think the way he's describing it here, he's trying to go for the Mother Gaia type trope. And so for a woman, you want that woman caretaker, or like Ceres, the Greek goddess, who was the goddess of like the harvest and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of where why they might be doing it. They wanted to have a woman, like this is how to me that's how he's explaining it. He wants to have her as they want that Gaia type, Ceres type person as this planetary stewardship of the preciousness of resources and the building bridges look only women can that's kind of what he's saying, where which is funny because Nerd Cookies points this out in her video. She says what did she say here? I think Spite's comments regarding the need to modernize the messenger for these themes are short-sighted. Leokind serves as the secret leader of the Fremen and is at the forefront of their efforts to transform the desert planet into a lush green environment. So he's literally Leokind is actually trying to get rid of the precious resource by terraforming the planet. And this should be a quote here, but Nerd Cookie says, while by itself the transformation of Arrakis in the first book might seem to be a positive development, as the series unfolds, the consequences of their actions result in a great strain on the known universe, resulting in the deaths of billions. So they're making a woman it's hilarious. Because what the book is literally warning you about, the consequences of good intentions, they're falling for the same trap right here. Because they're we have this good intention because we want to he's not saying it, but I think it's pretty clear he wants the representation because it's 2021 Hollywood. But they want that. But what ends up happening is that character is responsible for literally killing millions of people.
And
this is what Nerd Cookie says. So in a way, by transforming Arrakis, the Fremen are killing off the dominant. So even here, they're not really caretaking for the planet because it's literally killing off the sandworms too, and killing off the indigenous creatures. They're literally making the sandworms go extinct.
Obviously, don't worry. 2 seconds later, they'll totally recant that, and then they'll say the whole entire focus is about the Harkonnen family, and it's all about Dave Bautista.
Yeah, I could see him getting his own. They'll want to spin him off.
Yeah. Well, the planet was the emperor dictated who ruled the planet and who controlled the spice. So like when the book begins, the Harkonnens had been tasked with the people controlling Arrakis and harvesting the planet, and then in a political move, Shaddam the Fourth decides to have the Atreides take that, but what he's really plotted with the Harkonnens to wipe out the Atreides, to destroy their demise. So yeah, Usul Moeded. It's so interesting. Like we start talking about Dune, we're getting Dune people in the chat now.
I know, it's cool.
How does that work? YouTube's like, we know they're talking about Dune now.
It's the same shit when like you have your phone near you and you're talking about like, oh man, I want to get some new sweatpants, and then you go on your Facebook and then it's nothing but sweatpants.
Yeah.
I think spice. I yes to some extent, but I think for the most part, if I remember correctly, spice was harvested for space travel because you needed the navigators had to use the spice to predict the travel lanes. So
precognitive abilities.
Yeah, it was basically used for the entire like transportation of the entire universe. And when you lose the spice, like you lose all of the resources, because there are planets that literally like needed other planets to survive, basically.
That's why they bring in that giant face of bow looking thing at the beginning of the Cronenberg movie. The giant fish.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I gotta freaking get a picture of that thing.
So it had different side effects. Obviously, like the Bene Gesserit used it for like kind of to enhance their abilities. You know, prolonged life was a nice side effect. That obviously that was the motivation of the Harkonnens. That's why they wanted it, because they figured if they could outlive everybody, that was their way that they were going to finally beat the other families.
Yeah, and then you had the Bene Gesserit were using it for the foresight to predict the future, so they could like basically.
So everybody had their angle on spice.
Kwisatz Haderach. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
And then the Harkonnens kind of moved past that with the whole cloning and genetic manipulation and things.
Yeah, YouTube me saying it did both. The guild requirement was kept secret, as was the necessity for the creation of him other superior. Right. Yeah, I do see this point. Like I agree with you here, Usul. Because if we go back up here to what Spades was saying, where he's talking about building bridges to local communities. Yeah, you do see you do see that the contrast between the Harkonnens, who are like basically treating the Fremen as like slaves, and the Atreides come in and definitely treat them with much more respect and dignity when they're in control of Arrakis. And then obviously that leads them to seek out the Fremen when they're destroyed. But you do, I do remember there is a conversation that Lady Jessica and Paul have, that they are going to manipulate the Fremen based off of the Bene Gesserit implanting that myth of the messianic person coming to lead them to jihad as well. So yeah. But you see the stuff like this, and this is what Hollywood is right now. But I do think, Nerd Cookies points out in her video in the same LA Times article, talks about Denis Villeneuve saying that how he wanted to really stay true to the book, and based on the script that I've seen, pretty much does that. Like the big changes were Leah Kynes and how Leah Kynes dies, which I do think that is a big change, because you have that, like in the book, you have this like big nature versus human moment where like literally Kynes is this guy who's trying to terraform the planet, and he gets consumed by a sandworm. Nature like eats him, the thing he's trying to get rid of. on the planet like kills him. And that's like a big theme of the book. And then to me, the script shows her dying in an action sequence fighting the Harkonnens during the coup. So. But yeah, I was talking to a buddy, and I was saying this would probably be the first movie I'll go see in theaters since Bloodshot. Since COVID started. I don't think I've seen anything in theaters since then.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
The last thing I saw was
such a massive cinematic event starring Mr. Family himself. I mean, it's hard to compare anything to it, right?
You're right on there. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Bloodshot movie was like, I had so much hope for Bloodshot, but they went generic. They just did a paint by numbers origin story, and then they sucked at it because he's literally never even actually looks like Bloodshot in the entire film, except for like one scene, and he's just covered in like white dust. So
that's what Hollywood is. Remember. Can you just have a movie where he can turn into Hellboy?
Dude,
that was the original pitch.
I remember that pitch. Yeah,
like they wanted The Rock to be Hellboy, and he would only turn into Hellboy when he was fighting.
So dumb, dude.
It's Hollywood, man. They find ways around it.
They want to show you the character is as little as possible, the actor as much as possible, and they don't care how they achieve that.
That's why we got the leather outfits in the original X-Men film, because they didn't want the costumes, because they needed the facial recognition. The actors and the production studio thought, I don't know, if we give this guy a mask with some pointy ears on the end, he might get mad.
And I mean, it sucks too, because you have a movie like Dread, which like I didn't even know about until I watched it on Netflix or something, I think, back in the day. And then I went out and bought it because I was like, dude, I got to get this movie because it's so good. And he literally doesn't take his helmet off. He's in character the entire film.
Good.
And is probably one of the best comic book adaptations ever created.
Hands freaking down.
It's a dark horse. Nobody knows about it because they know about the Stallone film, which is a giant wet bag of turds. With Rob Schneider.
He's got the lawmaker. I kind of like that one.
I don't know. The Stallone film has its. It's like its 80s camp.
Quality. I don't know. It's probably hard for me to hate it.
It's the flip side of what we've been discussing tonight, fellas. It's good if you don't know what the comics are.
Yeah, I mean the part where I have the on our YouTube. I've got the video. It's one of our top videos. It's where he activates the robot. Mm-hmm. I don't know that the guy that played the villain is pretty good. I don't know. I get where you're coming from, but I also agree with Spencer.
Because the one thing that wasn't really a character that's a character in Judge Dredd is Mega City 1.
Right, true.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you can't really do Batman and really it's good other than in Gotham. That's where you really get your core meat and potatoes, where Gotham is a character. Like Mega City 1 is a character because it's the hyperized version of American greed and capitalism survived even through a post-nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah, I will say you didn't really get that because, a big portion of the movie, he's literally outside the city.
Yeah, and it's just, the whole premise of Dredd is making fun of that. Like, the American capitalism machine survived the Cold War when it was written. And it was British people laughing at our absurdity of our capitalism and our American might. It's like Team America World Police in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, so I do understand that, but at the same time, it's like RoboCop. RoboCop is supposed to be an over-the-top parody, but then it's like, well, these people are like crazy, insane criminals. Maybe you need like a RoboCop to take them out.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, especially when they get into the whole
it's like the Rorschach. It's the Rorschach thing all over again.
Well, when you read the Judge Death storyline and you find about the Death universe,
Death stuff is so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's when it really starts going. You do it hits home what you're saying, John. You do need a guy like Dredd to keep the crazies at bay.
Yeah.
And he does walk a thin line, so you kind of learn to respect him where it's kind of like Batman beats up the guys and the criminals come back. Like Dredd does have a balance. He's not totally off kilter like how Death became.
Right. And I will say that the Stallone film definitely doesn't really show the. I mean, I guess it kind of does with the other exiled judge that he meets out in the wastelands or whatever, but you see it a little bit more in the Dredd film with oh my gosh, what is his name?
Carl Urban, yeah. With especially when the other judges come and they've been bought off by Mama, and you see like, the corruption that even reaches up to into the judges' ranks, and how that greed that she's basically been untouched, and her greed has like been almost like accepted by society, and then Dredd's like the only one that's got to like put a stop to it too. So, and Hershey's just really there because she's just trying to survive. Like she's thrown into this situation now.
Originally, yeah,
with Dredd.
Yeah, originally. I also like I feel like the Dredd movie does such a great job because I've talked about this before, but you start off what causes Dredd to show up at Peach Trees?
That whole the murder of
her throwing the two guys off the top of the building, right, with the slow-mo. Well, what happens at the end of the movie?
That's what happens to her.
Right. So like what she did is the same thing that Dredd does at the end. Like, I just find that's such a Judge Dredd thing to do.
Poetic justice.
Like, well, no, it's like, is Dredd actually the good guy? Even though he did the same thing.
Yeah, there's always shades of gray about it.
Right. I thought that was
that. And the Lawmaster is better used.
Oh yeah.
The gun, like the whole hotshot thing in the beginning where the guy takes that chick hostage.
Yeah, that was great. And then he uses it against the other judges too, and then he's out. We got JDA in the house. He's saying, "Hey guys, what's the black pill about?" Well, given the fact that it looks like we only have 3 people watching, the black pill is probably about to end. But yeah, we talked about a bunch of stuff tonight. The black pill is about Bounty into Comics' YouTube performance not doing very well right now. But no, we talked about Shang-Chi. What else did we talk about? We talked about
Aquaman suit.
Aquaman suit, that was terrible. Aquaman suit's so ugly.
We talked a little Wheel of Time.
Yeah, Wheel of Time the costumes look generic. Doesn't look. The only one they really got right was Moraine. We talked about this guy right here. What's his name? Mendelsohn said. I watched your Shang-Chi video today, JDA. So I saw this article that you're talking about, and we were looking at this leggier than Black Panther, and then you literally look at the where is it? Look at the freaking comparison chart. The blue line is Black Panther. Shang-Chi's down here. It's leggier. Like, how is it leggier? Literally, Black Panther. It's almost like a freaking perpendicular line at this point still. And Shang-Chi's already like starting to curve over. So that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, but where I said again, where's the demographics of the box office in Tempe, Arizona? On a Friday afternoon.
Numbers aren't out yet. We need to wait for that report.
Yeah, that's going to be the important demographic.
I need Matt Jarbo to analyze them for me.
But yeah, Shang-Chi, the best movie of all time, confirmed by everyone. Yeah, didn't you see that 98% Rotten Tomatoes audience score? Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's
the best ever.
Usul Moadib says, I have mad respect for Bounty Comics. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We do appreciate that support.
We do.
It is spice season, so make sure you go to your local Starbucks and wear your Ugg boots.
They're putting pumpkin spice in everything now.
I saw pumpkin spice funnel cake earlier.
The spice must flow in September.
Bud Light is doing some kind of like Bud Light seltzer pumpkin spice cider beer or something like that.
Ew, it's real. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure JDA is gonna try it out. He likes all that stuff. I feel like that's something that JDA would try and probably think. I don't know.
It gets worse.
I mean, props to them because I think there's a huge market for it. Pumpkin spice, Bud Light seltzer,
toasted marshmallow. Dude, I have a hangover just thinking about a toasted marshmallow.
Maple, pear, and apple crisp.
Right? Like,
rude. I don't know. I feel
apple
like
maybe, but the rest of them, no way, man.
I feel like you like all that kind of stuff. Maybe maybe I'm misreading that. You're always like the White Claws and stuff. Aren't those like flavored? Isn't White Claw like a flavored?
They are.
Yeah, man. I gotta applaud their marketing strategy because the way how they designed the plaid, it's perfect for Silver Lake hipsters.
It really is.
I mean, out to me, it looks like a blanket. You like sit on a blanket with the leaves,
but like the pocket and everything, they designed it for like the ultra hipster.
Oh, yeah. The people that think that they're like lumberjacks and they're not. Is that what you're saying?
Well, like just LA hipsters, where they wear lumberjack fashion, but they've never actually carried an axe
or seen a tree.
What?
I mean, because I have a jacket that's like that pattern. So.
Yeah, but John, they're wearing it in like 90-degree weather. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Yeah.
Oh, so they're like, okay, so like, I mean, I'm not trying to insult Tim Pool here, but it's like Tim Pool wearing his beanie when it's like 100 degrees out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
I see those
fashion.
people, I'm like,
it's a statement of resistance.
It's like, dude, you're wearing a freaking winter snow hat.
Resistance to what?
To fashion.
Idiot. White Claw is different than pumpkin. Okay, so you're only objecting to pumpkin spice. Would you try
toasted marshmallow,
maple pear, or toasted marshmallow?
I might do the apple one because I've had like the red.
I think moving forward for next week, if you have a different guest, gentlemen, this is the question you need to ask them before they begin. Which faction are they a part of?
Yeah, this is the new political compass.
I'd probably try apple crisp and maple pear because I've had pear-based ciders and I've really enjoyed them.
Oh yeah, I've had pear-based ciders too. Yeah.
So I like ciders in general. Like if I'm gonna drink an alcoholic beverage for like just to enjoy it, I'd probably go with a cider over anything else.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Except for a Franziskaner. Franziskaner, the German monk beer, absolutely. The Hefeweizen, the best. Roof Green says, I agree with the leggings, gray hoodies, and boots. Usul says there should be a latte. They should do like a latte version.
A coffee flavored seltzer.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like was there any other Black Pill stuff today? We got a bunch of stuff in the works.
Oh yes, lots of stuff in the work.
I think you were doing stuff.
Yeah, I have a lot of it on my plate.
This is pretty Black Pill. This was probably our best story today. Chuck Dixon had like a great response to. It took a while to get to it, but he got to it. I got name dropped in his video. That was nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he says, yeah, Batman or Chuck Dixon responds to these comics by counting Tim Drake to make him attracted to men. And yeah, we covered this, so you know about it. But he said here, because why couldn't they just create a new character instead of leaning into a question that's existed for the Robin character almost since his creation, thanks to this gentleman, Frederick Wortham. He obviously put a picture of Wortham.
Especially Tim Drake, of all people, man, because he got Cassandra Cain. You know, he got Spoiler. That guy was getting more.
He never got Cassie.
He didn't? I thought he was getting more butt than a toilet seat when it came to Gotham Girls.
Yeah, but not with Cassie. He had Spoiler. He had just a random girlfriend. He had Ari. He had for a little while he was hooking up with Cassie Sandsmark, Wonder Girl.
Yeah, I got him with Spoiler here. She's trying to kiss him, and
the original. He was with Jubilee. That's my favorite one. My favorite
in there crossover. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was probably what Chuck says here. Where is it? This is probably like the blackest of Black Pills. As you say it.
Like the whole line. What is he going to make? They're going to try to go for edgy appeal and make Hal Jordan a cannibal.
That's just
no, he said that. He said that, but like, where was it? Right here. He says, I don't understand the point of it. The character was never written this way, never conceived this way, but this is going to be his continuity from now on, even if they retcon it back, even if they do a reboot and he's no longer bi-curious, he will be bi-curious for the rest of time. This is going to be part of his continuity. That's like the blackest of black pills. And that's exactly what these people are doing. They try and destroy these cultural icons. And once they've done it, like, you can't change it back. It's happened.
It's always going to be just like with Captain Marvel, like with Carol Danvers. Anytime you bring her up, everybody always brings up that story where she got mind screwed by her like future son who like took her away and made her pregnant with him, and it was all weird. It's an awful story. It's an awful decision, but because it's so bad, like you can't get rid of it. Like it's always going to be that sort of stain on your white shirt.
Yeah, Ant-Man slapping Janet.
Which wasn't even him, which people just take out of context. I hate it.
Yeah, but that's what it is, though, right?
I know. No, yeah.
That's what he's talking about. And so this is why, like, I know people will say, like, you can just go watch the old stuff. Well, yeah, you can, but that doesn't change the fact that this new stuff changes the meaning of that old stuff. And you can't, like, we're humans. You can't just, like, you can try and, like, create some cognitive dissonance with that. But, like, in the back of your mind, you still know that, like,
this is still technically that character. Like, yeah.
This is what happened to Luke Skywalker. So
yeah, like,
it's
hard for me to sit in Empire watching Luke fight Vader on Cloud City going like, he's just going to throw that away. Like, he's just going to throw that lightsaber away.
Here, I thought, Spencer, you're going to be like him realizing he's kissing his sister romantically in Hoth.
I mean, that was a moment as well. But when I watch that, when I watch that moment, I think of his later love interest, blue-titted space alien milk thing, and I just get warm, fuzzy feelings inside.
Oh, yeah.
So bad.
But yeah, so I think this is what Chuck said here is just, it's so true what he says here.
And they only did it not to sell books. They only did it for the sole reason of getting attention and staying good in the woke mob graces. But
yeah,
the woke mob doesn't buy comic books.
They don't. They don't. But this will get them to watch
comic books.
But see, the Tim Drake thing doesn't matter in the comic books because they don't read them. But it allows DC to draw and put them in Titans that way. And then people get to watch Titans, and they get to sell more ad space.
Literally, like 2 days. I feel like a week after this, we had this story here. They were already asking this Tanner Buchanan.
Oh, but he's all that kid.
To play a bisexual Robin. They were already asking him that just a week after they made the story. September 2nd, I think the book came out at the end of August. So they're already asking. And also, like, I'd love to play a gay Robin.
And notice, like, here's one of those insidious word games that I always like warn everybody about. Like, notice how they're going like, oh, are you going to play like a bi Robin now? Like, they don't. As soon as it happens, as soon as one of these bad decisions is made, and it, like John said, it becomes their canon. It's now to everybody, like these mainstream shills and stuff. It is their canon forever. So that's who the character is now forever. Notice how they just say, like, are you going to play Robin as bisexual as he is? And it's like, nobody wants to point out, like, cheap, like, cash grab or bad writing, like, switch. It's just like, this is who he always was. So are you going to play him now? And then DC gets to pat themselves on the back.
It's not even that Robin. It's Tim Drake. It's not Jason Todd.
I know, but they don't know that. Right, they just say Robin.
That's what Chuck points out that, too. Normies don't know that there have been, like, multiple Robins. They know that there's Robin, and that's
just
Robin is Robin. Slavic 1 is asking, do we have any predictions for the PlayStation? I literally had no idea. I'll be honest, I did not know there was a PlayStation presentation tomorrow. So
I had no idea.
My prediction is we'll actually get a date for when they're actually going to have the PlayStation 5s available.
Yeah, they'll make a special announcement that this is when we'll get restocked, and it'll just be like TBD.
Is this supposed to be just like Sony exclusive stuff? I would assume maybe they might have some stuff. I don't know. Is this like PlayStation thing? Is it like what Nintendo does with Treehouse? where they have their like
Kind
Nintendo
of.
specials.
Yeah, it's like that, but they're not
It's
as
like the second
good.
quarter update is essentially
Yeah.
what it really is.
It's like an
So it's
E3
like what Disney
presentation,
did?
but quarterly.
It's like
No,
what
it's like-
Disney did.
It's
in,
more
like
like it's more
December,
like
their
no,
showcase.
it's kind of, but it's more like taking like if you imagine like watching an E3 panel for PlayStation, imagine divvying that up across 4 quarters. That's
so
what
it's
it is.
fandom. It's DC fandom.
Yeah, it's basically fandom.
Okay.
But like 20 minutes and they show
I don't-
nothing.
I'm sure they'll have like something from Mr. Druckmann.
I'm sure they'll have something from Kojima.
Last of Us DLC. Last of Us
So-
2 DLC. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's only supposed to be 40 minutes. Like, I don't know.
That's what I mean. They're gonna show like 2 trailers. Yeah.
They're going to
Don't
show
like-
me NHL 22, and it's going to finally be. Oh, no, it's not. It's going to be the same shitty engine that they've been using for the last 7 years.
I still don't understand. Like, are people buy the new stuff just so they can play online because they stopped servicing the old games online? Is that the only reason
No,
why
they
you buy new
just
stuff?
they get
Why do
swept
you
up
buy
in the
those?
hype. Because
Like,
you
I
get
don't
hype.
get it. Is it
People
like
go,
it's like buying an iPhone? It's like buying an iPhone. Like,
No,
get
it's
this
not like
one-
Because if you're a
that's
jersey
how they
nerd,
feel. Yes.
and you like your team and you want to see all the jerseys you can play in and the updated arenas, that's pretty much that. That and actually last year's NHL game with threes was pretty bitchin'.
I mean, but they're not adding any like new like dynamics usually, right?
This one's
Still the
supposed
same
to,
gameplay.
from what they've said, it's drastically different, and they've rebuilt the game using the Frostbite engine.
Like, I feel like most of those have all the loot box stuff though too, right? Like the FIFA stuff has all the loot box.
Well,
So I
that's if
assume
you
NHL
play
has
like
it
the
too.
HUD mode and you actually create a team and you get the cards and shit like that.
I don't know. I think the last NHL game I had was like 10.
I'll get it. I'm a sucker for it. You give me more LA Kings jerseys and I'll be there.
DLC. That'll be DLC.
I will say I do really like the third jerseys the Caps have now. Those the red, like, so they're like the 90s jerseys. Remember they had the
Reverse
they had
retro.
the Screaming Eagle. They had like the blue Screaming Eagle. They put it on red and it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie.
I got that Forum purple or blue for the Kings that they did last year. That thing was tight.
Yeah, I always liked their like the old school purple jerseys they had when Gretzky was on the team.
They actually made the chevron when Gretzky came because that was part of their identity and their look.
Well, I thought they had the purple with like the yellow.
The Forum blue and gold.
Hold on, I gotta look it up. Hold
Yeah,
on.
no. When Wayne came, the first jersey they gave him was the chevron. The only thing that purple Wayne wore was that ugly ass Burger King jersey in '96.
Oh, so he didn't wear this one?
No. Nope.
LA
Nope.
Lakers.
That's when they were both owned by the same people.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
But those two colors were never mixed together.
2021-21. So that was this last year.
Reverse retro.
Reverse retro.
What,
That's what they called it.
Futuro.
I thought there was a purple one like back in the 90s.
They took the logo when Gretzky came, which was that chevron logo, and they put it on an old school purple jersey, which was pre his time. So the minute they announced that blockbuster trade to get him,
What about this one from the 80s? This is what I was thinking about, I think.
no, that was pre him. That was the Triple
That's
Crown
pretty
line.
risky, yeah.
Yeah,
That one looks cool too. I like that one too.
Lord knows I got it.
This is the one that Gretzky wore. I remember him wearing this one.
Yep, that's the chevron. Then if you ever look up the Burger King jersey, he also wore that dumpster fire jersey.
King's Burger King jersey. This thing?
I own
Please tell
two
me.
of them.
This? Is this it?
Yep, that's the Burger
That is-
King.
That is ugly.
That is really bad.
So ugly, it's beautiful.
Is that he's like a Viking king?
Burger King, make it your way.
Was it really sponsored by Burger King?
No, but that's the name
no,
it
they're
got.
just joking. Yeah.
It's not as bad as the same. Those were all the 1996 jerseys, and the Ducks had the worst one. It was Wild Wing coming out of the ice, like at an ice-covered pond.
Let's see. Which one?
Or if you just look up like Ducks Wild Wing jersey.
I mean, I like the ones from the movie. Those ones all look good. I'm not gonna lie.
I wish they would have used that. That probably would have been better. There it is.
Thing?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's ugly. Yeah.
Can you actually imagine that Solani had to wear that?
Dude.
Or Paul Correa, my bad.
Yep. Well, Solani probably wore it too, right?
Yeah.
96. He was still there.
Yeah.
No, that's ugly. Dude, I'm telling you, look at this. He looks like a female duck. His chest is huge.
Reminds me of the Mighty Ducks cartoon, like where they turn the ducks into like.
The only cool thing as a Kings fan that was unique was actually watching the Ducks cartoon with Ian Ziering as the voice of Wild Wing. He'd later go on to be in Sharknado.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Caps jersey. I think that I do not like this jersey. This blue, it's like turquoise or whatever.
Screaming Eagle.
Yeah, the Screaming Eagle. They did a retro one with a red one, which I actually think looks really cool.
I think the red would look a lot better than that weird blue.
Red looks good.
Nothing still beats the Buffalo Sabres Buffaslug.
So
Buffaslug?
This looks like way better. Like the red looks so much
that looks
better.
great.
Yeah, it looks really good.
That actually looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like this one. But I like their regular jersey because it looks like throwback. So, all right. Anything else we want to talk about? What else? Black Pill. I don't know if JD is still here. It looks like
Dixon got that good black pill.
Looks like he noped out. I mean, we could have talked about that Dylan Park guy, of course. Just
gosh.
Literally NPC, part of like the freaking like total like narrative.
Oh yeah, like
puzzle
pusher.
piece. We could. I mean, I guess we could have talked about Patty Jenkins' thing. It's kind of interesting how she like
She
doesn't
thinks
like
streaming movies aren't real movies.
Yeah, which is I mean I get her complaints saying like she doesn't hear about it, but that's because literally they sell it to you in the app with like recommended, so you don't need to hear it. Like they don't need to advertise it because they had such a captured audience. Yeah. They can just push it to you, so they get like more people probably watched some Netflix movie like Bright than they did. What was that latest freaking Charlie's Angels film? I bet you more people watched Bright on Netflix than the new Charlie's Angels film. So you can make that argument the other way too. All right, but it's like 12:05. I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Had a great stream.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. Thank
fun.
you all for staying with us. I know we talked a lot of sports because we got OCC. We're always talking sports with OCC.
It's always fun.
Don's not here, so we get to talk a little sports.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about his feelers getting hurt reading the book.
Where's his book? Yeah.
But yeah, we appreciate OCC joining us tonight. Always good to have you on with us.
Always.
We really enjoy that. I enjoy your perspective. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. We will be back next Wednesday. Black Pill stream every Wednesday. I actually added a description to this video. I said that like I don't even remember what it was. We kill your hopes and dreams with the black pill, something like that.
Whoa! I need an adult or Chris Hansen.
I don't think I used kill. I think I used like destroy or something like that. But yeah, YouTube me said we lost a lot of people with the dunes, but I don't think so. I think we were at 6 and we went to 8 actually when we told people to leave. I think it went up.
Whoa! Are we talking like La Brava again? Because if that's the perspective, you guys lost a lot of people.
No, I think we actually lost people when we started talking My Hero. That's what it looked like to me.
Weird.
But that's fine.
Sorry, it was Wednesday night weeb talk.
No, I mean, which is weird because we usually always talk my hero.
There's always a chat or two about it, yeah,
something like that. So, but yeah, thank you all for joining us. DZ3, YouTube me, Slavic 1. I know Roof Green is here.
Usul was here a little bit earlier for the Dune talk. That was cool.
JDA. YouTube me says I didn't care with the Dune spoiler warning. I connected dots to most movies by just reading. Yeah. YouTube me says you lost the most people on a stream about a movie that is record breaking in the story. Yeah, when we started talking about saying zing, zing. I need the sound.
Got
it. We need to get comics division on here.
Dude, we need him to set us up with a soundboard.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, YouTube me just crushing it. I know Bunny with the keyboard is here. Thank you,
Bunny.
Luigi, the Metal 64. He's sticking with that. Appreciate you in the chat there, Luigi. Ravul was here. I think Sean the Movie Man was here as well.
Yeah, I did see Sean.
As his I don't remember his pseudonym that he's going by now. But yeah, Drew was here as well. So yeah, thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday. And I do want to kind of start doing some more daily stuff. I want to get back to that.
Yeah, well, more breakdowns.
Missed that. Just do some more bounding breakdowns and just kind of maybe get some more daily shows going. So figure that out. Obviously, they'll be a lot shorter, but try and do some of those more throughout the week. Be more consistent with that. So thank you all again. Have a great night, and we will see you next week.
Take it easy.
And make sure you subscribe to OC Steve.
Yes,
he's got his channel.
7 away from 250.
The comics version of Hero Hey. Let's do it.
So make sure you do that, and then I know Spencer's got his personal channel too. So make sure you give him a sub as well. Is it Kabuto Writer Mav Inc. or something like that?
It's Kabuto Studios LLC corporate trademark.
Kabuto Studios. And OC Steve it's just OC Steve, right?
That's it.
All right, there you go.
Keep it simple.
All right, have a great night, guys.
Take it easy, everyone.